And hello, welcome to solo playthroughs. I've done a lot of dumb things live playthrough wise on this channel, I guess, and things I've attempted. This might be the dumbest. So there's that. um yeah, look, it's gonna be interesting, and I definitely know the rules, so I don't want you to think that I'm gonna be coming in there and making a bunch of mistakes and not know what's going on. Obviously there might be an oversight or two, and that's why I have a wonderful chat. Hopefully, it only takes one or two to really kind of let me know what's going on and make sure that oh, you missed this, you missed that. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the production side of things and live. Mistakes are almost more likely to happen, but I have been playing the heck out of this game the last 2 days to try to minimize that. I really hope that we can get this together. I am very not embarrassed. I don't know. I'm something like messing up the movement in the first Cloudspire video I released was awful. So if you watched my first video and that was your only introduction to Cloudspire, please go to the comment section. There were some awesome comments that were immediate, and I forget the names, and I really want to give them a shout out because they were awesome. They have a channel too. They do Cloudspire stuff where I was doing the movement for competitive Cloudspire, and I had failed to appreciate a key phrase in describing the AI movement, that the minions will always move to make as much progress as possible, maximizing their movement, but they have to move to make as much progress as possible. So the rules for movement for you and for the AI units are going to be different, and I was messing that up, which radically did change how that scenario played out. So hey, notice now that's a lot of chips. Yeah, this is a lot of stuff going on. What's up, Otis? How are you, dude? Um, so we're going to just give this an effort. I have failed to win this on 3 renown yet. At least in my most, I did it a long time ago, but that was with the old AI rules, or the old my version of the AI rules. So still trying to figure out how to do this with these rules, but I think we'll have a really good matchup no matter what. I did go back and redo scenario one off camera with the proper AI rules. Took me like about 3 attempts to kind of totally adjust to the new rules, but I was able to smash it twice in a row at that point and was able to get the 3 renown there. So we are going to have that carry over into the story. And again, we win as long as we get 1 renown. If we get 2, great. If we get 3, that would be super awesome, but it's going to be a super challenge. So first thing I need to do to set up is I'm going to take this mountain of chips. Again, this is the base game of Cloudspire plus the extra marker chips that come with the expansion. Can't. Oh, cool. Just making sure my mic was on. I got freaked out for a second. Otis says can't stay for long, but will for some of it. I appreciate that. So let me kind of loosely shuffle these chips. I mean, it's random. I totally assure you. And I'm going to take this mountain of market chips. Again, a lot of these extra market chips came with the Horizons Wrath expansion, and then there were market chips that came with the Portal Seekers expansion. So there's just a ton of market chips here. And the way I work it out for my market is I'm just going to put these into one of the chip trays over here, and that will work. Done. And 3. Cool. Got them out of the way. Now I'm going to take the top chip from the 3 different trays here, or the 3 different slots of the chip tray, and I'm going to use these for research. What is research? Well, let's do some story time with Greg. Brawnen, Chapter 2, Expansion. Krim was at the range to survey the reserve Zerker fighting force, but he was most excited about checking in on Drang and Sturm, 2 siblings about 15 years younger than him, who he'd met after a parade when the pair were still children. His surveying was cut short, however, by a message brought to him by a curious emissary, a short, round, purple, hairless creature who called himself Ladnil, the scientist prince of the Navits. This visitor from the world below had almost unnaturally smooth skin, undisturbed by any variance except for the typical facial features and a pair of stubby arms and legs. As though his appearance wasn't already curious enough, Ladnil had elevated his given one-arm height to about twice that, thanks to a crude exoskeleton it piloted nimbly through brush and over uneven terrain. The exoskeleton appeared to have been crafted out of bits of stone, wood, and bone. Cram quickly unrolled the parchment and scanned it. Do you know who the Grovetenders are? He asked Ladnil. Certainly, the Navits replied. Are we to make for their Sylvan realm? It seems so, Cram said. Osh must have sent this directive now so I could gather more Zerkers and bring them with me to our next offensive. There's a Grovetender outpost called Reciprocity. It was its own small, free-floating island, but it got caught up in the joining with the rest of us. The Grovetenders use the outpost for research, which some of our scientists believe might have military applications. I've been asked to take it. Alright, so what the heck is going on? In Chapter 1, remember, the Heirs were doing some spy mission over us. We used that as an opportunity to go destroy them. We had to defeat their gate. A whole bunch of stuff happened. There was Darb. And it was crazy. So now we managed to defeat all the spires of the Heirs. We have subdued them for now. And while that was happening, there was a message sent to Cram saying, oh, let's go get this research from the Grovetenders. Our goals in this scenario are not to defeat we're not trying to defeat the fortress. We're just trying to get some research. How much research we have available to get is going to depend on how well we did in scenario 1. It's kind of a balancing of the campaign. Since I did get 3 renown, we're going to have 3 pieces of research to try to collect, and I assure you getting all 3 is going to be extremely hard. Alright, Rory Parlin. Everyone who plays Cloudspire will always learn something new. It's a game that stays out on your table for a while. Mistakes will always happen. This is why it's my all-time favorite. Thank you, Rory. I appreciate the the kind words. Otis, more chips than too many bones, probably? Probably not. I don't think so. Maybe I'd have to. Someone knows the count. I'm sure. I got it around a month ago for my birthday. Looks like this has more. I think there's just more in your face, but it's quite possible because I have all the health chips out, and you have the factions and whatever. But I think when you gather up all the baddies, and if you have Undertow, and once you start getting the expansions to Too Many Bones, you'll probably end up with just about the same, and that will be fine. So. Let's go through with setup. So I already talked about the carryover and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to have 3 pieces of research that we need to get. Now, this handy-dandy map here will tell us a couple things. First of all, it says there are 5 waves. This is going to be a longer game. Scenario 2 is like, okay, you handled 4 waves, okay. How do you feel about 5? That extra wave, I tell you what, for me personally, the mental fatigue that I start to feel in wave 4, that wave 5 is like, woof. It's rough. All right. So it tells us on position A, which is down over here, that there's going to be a retall. Retall is one of the spires of the Grovetenders. The retall, normally, if you were playing a competitive game, it would come in with 1 attack chip and 1 range chip. However, it tells you just put 2 attack chips on that sucker, and we're going to augment that in a second. On B, and this has air defense, which means that it can attack a unit that has flying. B, we have the Shrubbery. The Shrubbery normally would have 1 attack chip and 1 fortification chip. This one comes in with 2 attack chips, just like this retall. And it has 2 keywords. One is camouflage, which means that we cannot attack it unless we're adjacent. It's going to be really hard to deal with. And the second one is cover. So if there was I think it's just a taproot was adjacent to it, the taproot would take less damage. That's not really going to come into play in this specific scenario. And then on C, we have another retall, which actually does have the normal starting chips of a attack chip and a range chip. Those look easy enough. Haha! No, it's not. So I'm going to roll this D6, and I'm going to do it separately for both the retall on A, the Shrubbery on B, and the retall on C. So I'm rolling that. I rolled a 4. We are adding 3 range chips to A, which means that considering spires have a basic range of 1, when you add 3, this sucker is now going to be able to attack 3 spaces away. Now, spires cannot attack over empty space, right? Because the arrows get knocked down. Clearly, it's very windy in Ankar, which I, for some reason, have a lot of trouble pronouncing. I can't even pronounce pronouncing right at this point. So we're just gonna hang on, fellas. It's gonna be a long day. So the retall is going to be able to attack 1 normal plus the 3 range chips, get its range all the way out to here and here. So anytime I have a unit here, I'm going to have to roll 2 attack dice on it after my movement, and that's going to be rough. So trying to get that down to size in like the second or third wave is going to be really important. We're going to roll for the Shrubbery now. The Shrubbery gets 3 range chips as well, so that stinks. And now the retall what's going and now so that's going to have the same range as so the shrubbery and the retail are going to have the same range, so 1 plus 1 2 3, so there's like the prime target zone. And now we have this retail. I'm rolling it again. I rolled a 5 again. So we did avoid having any special fortifications, which is going to make them a little easier to cut down the size, assuming we can get a siege tower in one of those two areas. But remember, we can never attack the shrubbery with a spire because it has camouflage. We need to be adjacent to it. Rough. What else is going to be on here? Well, we're going to have a shrubbery out here, and that comes in with 2 attack chips and 2 range chips, which means that that's already going to have range to like this area, and that could be rough, and you'll see why in a second. And then we're going to have Daiwan. Daiwan is a hero from the Grovetenders. Daiwan comes in with 7 health. It has a bonus attack chip, so it will be attacking with 2, and it starts here. Daiwan, however, does not become a part of the scenario based on the special rules, which are on the next page, until I have one of my Brawnen dudes step on aisle 7, and this is aisle 7 right here. So once you do that, then Daiwan's activated for the rest of the scenario, and she will stay activated. Right? Additionally, with that attack chip, Daiwan herself is hiding one of those pieces of research from us, and that is research 1. Had I only gotten 1 renown in scenario 1, that's all I would need to get. I would basically need to activate Daiwan, I would kill her, and I would get that research, bring it back, and I would actually achieve a goal. However, since I got 3 renown, research 2 is going to go over here by the shrubbery, and research 3 is going to go over here. When I have a hero adjacent to a piece of research, as long as there is not another unit on top of that research, I can grab this before my movement, and I have to get it back into my fortress to consider it collected. So if the scenario ends and I'm here with Osh and I'm like, I'm getting there, guys, doesn't matter. I have to have it in the fortress to count as collected. So that becomes a timing mechanic that's very, very hard to deal with. Now, Daiwan, when we kill her, assuming we get a chance to defeat her, she will just drop the piece of research she has wherever she's defeated. So we are going to want to let her come to us, Daiwan, so we can defeat her here to get her closer to our gate, as opposed to defeating her out here, and it's going to get harder to it's going to be harder to get that research back to our gate. Let me look at this. Rory says, looks like my table. Nice. I made this with a friend 2 years ago, and it came out way better than it should have, and I love it. Isaac Villa was in the middle of the Maze Knight Officer and Orc playthrough, but I've never seen this played. No, very cool. Thank you, Isaac. Yeah, Cloudspire is nuts. I am far from an expert. I know the rules, but I am still learning, and as far as strategies and stuff like that. And I really like this game. I like Too Many Bones. I definitely am growing to love Cloudspire, and I think that Cloudspire has surpassed, and they're obviously a natural comparison because they're both with chip theory games. You have all these ships, it's the neoprene mats and all of it. I really like this game. This game just checks a lot of boxes for me, and Too Many Bones is fun and zany and great, but this game is I think much more for me than Too Many Bones for sure. All right, I'm shuffling up the Relic deck. Relics will generally just come into play as a reward for defeating certain landmarks, and then when you get relics, you have the choice of taking that relic if you like it, or you could immediately just discard it. You have to decide immediately, though. You can immediately discard it for force source. We'll see what the relic is and how useful it is before we make that decision. I have Osh out. Osh is definitely going to be one of my starting units because he costs 0 CP to deploy, and we are going to need him to have a better chance at the first wave. Again, there are 5 waves, so I am going to just have him out because I know I'm going to use him in that first wave. All right, and I have the 2 taproots out because this is the first deployment forces for the Grovetenders. Both of them have 3 health. And we'll talk about their mechanics as we kind of get into their gameplay. What else do I need to set up on the board? Well, I have these landscapes, or whatever the heck they're called, and we're really not going to be playing much with these, but I will just go ahead and put them in a pile because they will come into play during the market phase, and we'll deal with them accordingly then. And finally, I need to start putting the landmarks on the board. So when you have portal sequels and whatever, you have 7 swamp landmark tokens. The closest source to both of the fortresses is going to get one of these swamp tokens, specifically a swamp token. So I'm going to roll a d7, and I rolled a 7, so we're going to put this one close to the Brawnen. I'm going to roll a d6, is there a 6 left, and I'm going to put, I rolled a 5, I'm going to put this one closest to the Grovetenders. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sources on the board. I have 19 landmark chips left. I'm going to roll the d20. We're going to start with this one first. I rolled a 20. Of course. 19, 18, 17, 16. That goes there. There are 18 left. I'm going here. This goes here. I rolled a 17. There are 16 left. I'm going here. I rolled a 16. Big numbers. Woo! All right. I have 15 left. I'm going here. I rolled a 19. I rolled a 13. Man, no more swamp tokens. That's not good. And here's going to be a 14. I rolled a 1. Hey, swamp token over there, where I have no chance of getting, no chance of getting to that whatsoever. So the landmark tiles are going to come off. We might need them during the gameplay. We will see what events we have to deal with. What else do I have here? So I'm going to put these dice off the board. We won't need those again, most likely. And we have our Grovetender sheet, which we might need for a reference. And then we have our landmark and market talent sheets. Again, this is double-sided. I just have them both. I'll put the one on top of the other, and we'll be able to slide them off and see what's going on. In front of me, we have the scenario book, and then I have the co-op book underneath that. That is all the talents for the AI faction in the Grovetenders, so we'll use that. And then on the back of this book is the attack priority, so I'll be using that as a reference as well. All right, Otis, I've been distracted from watching gaming for a while because of Gloomhaven Digital. I've heard that implementation is awesome. And for what it's worth, man, I just replayed Jaws of the Lion over the break. Woo, man, I really like Jaws of the Lion. It's so good. I don't know if I would want to do all of Gloomhaven again. Actually, I decidedly don't want to do all of Gloomhaven again. We did Gloomhaven, me and a couple of friends, did Gloomhaven, and we did Forgotten Circles. It was great. Very much super excited about Frosthaven because I just think that the system, the Isaac Childress's ability to play with the system and make it better, he's like, Gloomhaven was like his first hurrah, right? He was just figuring things out. I think if you look at the creativity in the scenarios and Jaws and the creativity in some of the characters, I just think that's gonna. I'm assuming that's going to be continued as you go into Frosthaven. I just expect Frosthaven to be a much more polished, better product than Gloomhaven, and even some of the rules, edits, and tweaks that have been made to the system. I think it's going to be just an awesome, awesome game. All right, though I'd like to play Gloomhaven physical again sometime for sure. Get Jaws, man. Jaws Online is so good. Do not get scared away by the entry level Gloomhaven, dude. That is hard. It's great. The characters are awesome. The scenarios are great. It's so good. All right. I am done with this page, right? I've done everything in setup. We have our research. I did the things here, and we're good to go. So I'm going to go to the next page. Objectives. Again, there are 3 objectives in every solo scenario. You want to get all 3 if you can. If you get 1, you succeed and you can move on. So we can defeat the 3 spires in the Grovetender outpost. Brawnen Mark immediately becomes the Grovetender Fortress Gate. So my minions, this is why I have my little chip here. My initial mark for my minions, they are always going to go toward the farthest most spire on this outpost, right? So my minions are trying to get to that spot. That is their mark. That's what they want to attack. In a lot of scenarios, it starts as the fortress gate. This scenario, no, they're trying to go toward that spire. However, if I defeat all 3 of those spires, hopefully when I defeat all 3 of those spires, the Brawnen are going to switch their focus, and my AI and my minions are all going to go toward the fortress gate at that point. If I ever destroy the Grovetender Fortress Gate, which I almost assuredly won't, the scenario will immediately end. For their part, the Grovetenders mark is going to be my Fortress Gate. However, as soon as I build a spire on A, B, or C, the Grovetenders mark will change, and they're going to go toward my spire there. So my second goal, so my first goal is to defeat all 3 of the spires. My second goal is to construct 3 of my own spires on A, B, or C and keep them all from being defeated until the end of wave 5. If I lose any spire that I construct on A, B, or C, game's over. Now I can construct a spire like here and lose it, that's fine. Here, it's specifically those 3. And thinking about influence rules in constructing spires. Remember, you can only construct on an isle if you have, generally speaking, there are some other things that can make an exception to the rule, like for instance, like a spire reward if you defeat a certain landmark minion. However, generally speaking, you can only build a spire if you have a spire on an adjacent isle. So if I have a spire here, I can build here. If I have a spire here, I can build here. But if I only have a spire here, I can't build here. Right? So to start building here, I'm going to need to have a spire here or here. So I have influence on this isle, and I'm going to have to construct a spire here if I want to have influence to this isle. Now, the Brawnen have some tricks where they can kind of put up, they're called drilling outposts, and they can kind of put those on non-source hexes if you upgrade certain things. So we'll have some potential ways that we could try to figure that out. But there's a ton going into this puzzle, and I'm already like, oh my gosh. Why am I doing this live? Because it's fun. Otis, I actually have it, did the first 4 scenarios. Yeah, get through the intro stuff. It's so good. So good. But yeah, first 4 is like where you're like, oh, this is really Gloomhaven, right? Because the first 3 are like a joke. And you get the 4, you're like, dude, this is so like really hard. Alright, Rory Parlin, best thing about Jaws of the Lion is the map is laid out in the book, so you're not spending 45 minutes to break and reset the next scenario. Oh yeah, that map is, for solo play especially, it just, whew, I mean, I mind less a lot of setup when it's like me and my friends and we're talking, whatever, but solo, it's just nice to just get that book, doom, we're done, let's rock and roll. Alright, so what was I yammering on about? Alright, the next objective, collect all pieces of research and return them to the Brawnen Fortress. Again, 1 piece of research here, research, and then our girl Daiwan, yeah, Daiwan's got to be it, right? I wonder, it's probably Daiwan. Or I think I have the emphasis on the wrong syllable here, but we'll see. Now, loss, any Brawnen spire constructed A, B, or C. I already said that. Scenario rules, Cram the Mighty may not be selected. So, because he's getting ready for the next wave, like that's basically was kind of hinted at in the flavor text here. So, he's just going to come out. We're going to take him out of the barracks. Sorry, Cram, I miss you already. Remember, he was pretty much our hero in scenario 1. He is a fantastic unit, which is why we're stuck with, Cram Light in Osh. Pieces of research are treated as items. Already talked about that. AI rules: Grovetenders do not place purchased earthscapes. And we already talked about Daiwan. She will not move or attack until she's provoked. She won't get provoked until I have a unit step on 7. I already talked about the marks. And there are things about Daiwan when she gets activated. Who's her mark? It's the closest Brawnen unit. So she will, once she's activated shielded, whoever is closest, she's going to go toward that. And then leveling, if she defeats a unit, she will get an attack upgrade if her last upgrade is a range upgrade. Otherwise, she'll get a range upgrade, ignoring upgrade capacity. And that's the AI hero leveling is unique. And then she can have, normally this unit can only have 1 upgrade. However, because of the scenario rules, she can have unlimited upgrade, limited only by the realities of what's going to happen during a scenario. There's event die results. Fortunately, we do not have to worry about that because there is no event in Wave 1. Whew. All right, we got all that. Sometimes effects that were too strong were fun in Gloomhaven. So I don't want them all gone in Frosthaven, but the cards seem pretty cool. Don't love the new graphic design, but will probably be fine. Cool. Talking about some Frosthaven and the Gloomhaven world, kids. All right, so Wave 1, we're going to go to the event phase. No event. And we also know that one of the first moments I had in this game, I was trying to figure out how you figured out initiative. And I was like going through the rules, going back and forth, and it's like, oh, Wave 1. Oh, it's right there. I don't know how my brain missed that, but it is what it is. So we're going to income phase. We actually get income. I'm going to get 5 source worth of income, which is super nice. Knowing, now looking ahead, I'm going to have 7 source in Wave 2. There's going to be a market phase. So I'm going to put out 3 chips. In a solo game, you have 3 chips to choose from. We'll see how these go. So we have a mini harvester. It's got a reap ability. What is the reap ability? The reap ability is once per wave. If this unit is adjacent to a source well, spire, or landmark, you may gain D6 source. Sure. I mean, that seems too good to pass up. I mean, Osh isn't gonna be coming back here anytime soon. Do I want to upgrade any of my dudes? Probably not at this point, so I might get that. We have the Source Sniper, air defense and range 3. Range 3 is interesting. She would cost me 3. Now remember, in the market, you could only buy one thing around, right? So if I want her, we have to think how useful she could be with that range 3. Because if she got here, she would actually be able to start picking off this retall a little bit. So she could come in handy. I do not hate that. I mean, if I just got one of those two, what makes the most sense? I kind of like that actually, because that 4 range is ridiculous. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, literally, it's gonna start wailing me there, which is really, really bad. Gosh, he's 4. I mean, that would allow me an opportunity to bring in Mr. Aegis here. He costs 4 CP, and if I brought in Aegis and this Source Sniper, I don't hate that combo at all. Aegis 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's so stupid. It's really bad, man. Really bad. Let's do it. Whatever. I never tried this one before. I'm enticed. So I'm going to bring in the Aegis because he's going to have the most ability to kind of withstand some of the attacks of this retall, which is going to be attacking me from here. Otherwise, if I take like a Battleborn or a Dispatch, they're just going to get absolutely annihilated. So I spent 3 source to get the Source Sniper. That is a minion. I'm going to put the Cram chip underneath it just to show that it's gray, and it's going to have 2 health. I'm going to put 3 health underneath the Aegis. Aegis is armored, so it's an attack. When it is attacked, the amount of damage is reduced by 1, which is super helpful. And now I'm going to stack Osh on top of Aegis and stack Aegis on top of the Source Sniper. We're going to go to the Grovetenders' turn. What do we have here? Sorry about that. Matthias says, "Hey Greg, how are you, sir? Thank you for stopping in." All right, Grovetenders. The Grovetenders have initiative. Now, the Grovetenders, kids, just so you know, in movement, hypothetically speaking, if you didn't know this rule, they have to make maximum progress. So, great. 1, 2, and this other taproot moves 1. Are there any spires around to attack them? Obviously not. Are they going to explore? Nope, the AI doesn't explore. Do they have anyone in range for them to attack? Nope, no spires, no units. They are done. My turn. I'm going to move Osh here. I'm going to move Aegis 1, 2, and I'm going to move this Source Sniper here. Are there any spires around to attack? Well, there is one. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. This retall, it would prefer to try to damage my hero, but you know, my hero's all the way the heck back there. So it's going to try to damage my Aegis. It's going to roll 1 die because it only has 1 attack chip here, and it rolls a blank. So really, it's only going to damage Aegis. And I was saying Aegis wrong in the first video too. I guess Aegis is I forget, it's some language for shield, I believe, is the case. So if these dice again have 1, 2, 4 ones and a 0, the only way you're damaging the Aegis because of the armored skill is if you roll a 2. I am going to explore this token. What is it? It is a Sabesa. A Sabesa has 4 health, toxic accretion, it has range 2, and that will be fine. It does not retaliate. Normally, the only way the Sabesa does damage is if you move adjacent to it. I could explore this ship as well, but if it has a foreboding or engage, that's really going to mess me up. So I will not explore this ship, and I will choose to actually carry out my attacks. Now, your minions have to attack if they can, which if something had to retaliate, that could be bad. Again, retaliation happens to adjacent units, and retaliation is automatic, and every unit will retaliate once a turn as soon as it is able, and then it won't retaliate again. And I could choose the order of how I want to do these attacks. So the Aegis is going to knock off 2 health from this Sabisa, and Osh is going to knock off 2 health himself because he only has 1 attack, but he's a hunter. That means when he's doing damage to a landmark chip, he does 1 additional damage. So we've defeated the Sabisa. That health comes here. I'm going to get 4 source, so I go from 2 up to 6. and this is out. Now I have a source that I can put a spire on. I don't want to put a spire on it too soon though, because most likely these guys are probably going to get to my gate this turn, and I don't want to give them an opportunity to just knock down a spire, which wouldn't be great. So that works. So we have up to 6 source. My turn is over. The source sniper has no one to attack, unfortunately. So she's like, hey, what's going on? I can't attack anyone. And now we're going to go to the Grovetenders' turn. What do we got here? Oh, is the fetch quest 1? Is the fetch quest 1? I don't know what the fetch quest is. GS, wow, this game looks gorgeous. Haven't seen it before. Matthias says probably Latin. Brian Skolick. Yeah, it could. I forget. Brian Skolick. Hello, Greg. Hi, all. Could you please go over all the rules really quickly? Yeah, just kidding. That's hilarious. Otis. Well, anyway, before I go, this isn't a Haven Scream, but have you seen the Frosthaven starting characters? They are accessible on Reddit. If so, which character do you want to play? I played with the Bone Crusher, I think it was what it was called, at PAX, and it was awesome. Like, it was really cool. The summons in Frosthaven were just legit. Like, they looked like a really legit strategy. The summons in Gloomhaven are like always a joke, right? But the summons in Frosthaven looked really, really fun. I'm interested, yeah, Bone Shaper, I think it was. That's right. I'm interested in Banner Spear and Drifter, and maybe Bone Shaper or Blink Blade. All right. We're going to go back to the Grovetenders' turn. The Grovetenders are moving 2, 1, 2. So Taproot moves. This Taproot moves 1, 2. There's nothing else to deploy, so that's fine. No spires to attack them. Nothing within range 2 for them to attack, so they are done. We are going to move on. So I can move Osh before or after I move my minions. I cannot move one minion though, then move Osh, and then move the other minion. I'm going to move both my minions. 1, 2. 1, 2, and then we'll move Osh here and see what's underneath this landmark. But first, we got to see if there's any spires around. This spire is 1, 1, 2, so it doesn't reach Osh. This spire is 1, 1, 2, 3, so it doesn't reach anybody. This spire is 1, 1, 2, 3, doesn't reach anybody. This spire is 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yikes. So it has to attack Osh, right? Because it's going to prioritize damaging my hero. Oh, and when I defeated that thing, knowing that I could have taken an upgrade, I will take a armor upgrade. So this retall is going to prioritize trying to damage my hero before it prioritizes trying to damage my minion. So it is going to attack Osh even from all the way over here, which is absolutely absurd. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're rolling 1 die. Bam, 2 damage. Glad I took the upgrade. That I did. Yikes. Ugh, awesome. So we are now going to explore. What am I exploring? I'm going to explore this. It is Awaken. Wow. Awaken, I think, comes with Portal Seekers. And what does Awaken do? Portal Seekers. What does Awaken do? When this chip is revealed, also reveal all non-anomaly landmarks, then discard the chip. We are not playing with any anomaly landmarks. We're revealing everything else, which is going to make this really interesting. So we have a Traxxer Loner that comes in with 4 health. We have a Bounty Hunter, which comes in with 4 health. Now, they will start messing with future waves of Grovetenders. We have a Grail Vipers, which is Relentless with 3 health. So Relentless with its Retaliate is just going to freaking potentially do unlimited damage. You'll see how that plays out. We have the Grail Wolves, which also have Relentless. That's nuts. And over here we have the Altar of Aggression. It has Engage, Entropy, and Foreboding. I don't know what the Altar of Aggression is. Let's find out. So Engage means that if you can attack it, you have to. Foreboding means that once you flip it, you cannot unflip it. Entropy, what are you, Entropy? Entropy, if the chip's health is reduced to exactly 1, it does not retaliate and defeats itself immediately, if dealing 2 damage to all adjacent non-Neuroman units. So it has 5 health. We basically just want to get rid of it so we can build a spire on it. But if we get it down to 1, it's going to defeat itself and it's going to immediately retaliate too, which is super interesting. Oh, well, I wanted to. That's a good point. Yeah, I actually wanted to because I think it's helpful. But you're right. I wanted to get that source well open is really what I wanted to do. But it's a good point. Um, Tony Barnett says that Aegis is Greek. What's up, Tony? Brian Skollick, summons in Gloomhaven are meat shields for a round or two. Yeah, no doubt. Otis, they're only very good if they're ranged. Though I did just watch all the summons playthrough and no summon died at all. Matthias is absolutely right. You didn't revealing a chip is always optional unless it says foreboding. I actually did want to reveal that though because again I wanted to, like I said I wanted to see what was going on. Plus, if this was like a pathway, that would have been great because it would have made getting here a lot easier. At this point though, we'll see. I mean, if I can get oh engaged, I have to attack that altar. That altar messed up everything. So if I'm here now, I can't attack that. I have to attack that because I can. Oh, that's an unfortunate wrinkle in my plans for sure. But everything else I think would have actually played out really well for me. All right, so that revealed we opened up that source well, which is what I wanted to do. And now we have to decide what we are doing with attacks. Yikes. So my Aegis, oh, my Aegis needs to upgrade too. that that rolling at 2 is really bad. Yeah, I was really set up to do some damage there. All right, well, this dude, I think the engage isn't going to matter because the source sniper is too far away. So 1, 2, 3. Do I want to do some damage to the? That rewards a relic. This rewards a relic, so it's basically 4 source. It wouldn't be terrible to get this cleared off, and then maybe I can get a siege tower built there pretty early. Or I could just knock this down 1, and then assuming it attacks the Aegis, right? Nothing's going to be in range of Osh on the next turn. 2, 2, 2. Yeah, we'll do 1 attack on this Taproot, and when that attacks the Aegis, Aegis will retaliate and actually just wipe it out, so we won't have to worry about it summoning anybody. What is summon? Alright, so the Taproots have range 2, they have air defense, and they have summon. If they are reduced to exactly 1 health, they will flip, and a new unit will take its place, and the new unit is something I really don't want to deal with. It's a Warbriar. The book tells you what the summon is in every round. The first 2 waves, I keep saying round, I mean wave. The first 2 waves in the onslaught phase, the summon is always going to be a Warbriar. So we use this Source Sniper to attack this. There is no, yeah, we're not in range of that loner out because that has engaged and foreboding as well. Oh, this Taproot I think is going to have to attack that loner. Oh, that's super interesting too. All right, interesting. My turn's over. I'm going to say interesting 12 more times, guys. We're going to go with the Taproot. The Taproot's going to go 1, 2. It has to move maximum if it can as long as the maximum movement makes progress. This goes 1, 2. And neither of these guys are going to attack me because they both have to attack. Well, this one is actually too far away. This one has to attack this altar. This one would attack the... Oh, that's bad. That's... I mean, it's not awful, but this is going to flip into a Warbriar for sure. All right, so this Aegis is going to... This Taproot has to attack the Altar of Aggression. It takes 1 health off. This Taproot is going to attack... Well, it can choose who it wants to attack. I could have it attack the Source Sniper, right? But then the Source Sniper is super close to dying. Oh, you know what? I did mess up. The Source Sniper is already dead because the Retall, I rolled a 2, remember? Yeah, let me get this back. Already making mistakes. I rolled a 2. The Retall would not have attacked Osh. So Osh is back here because it had a chance to defeat the Source Sniper and there was no chance for it to defeat Osh. So when it rolled a 2, so much for my Source Sniper plan. My Source Sniper's out. Alright, sorry about that. So the roll was a 2. It doesn't change anything else. And now it just means that that attack actually never happens. So the Taproot's at full health. And this Taproot attacked here. This Taproot has no choice. For its priority, it's going to attack the Aegis. It attacks the Aegis. Even though it can't damage it, the Aegis, because the Aegis is armored and the Taproot's only doing 1 damage, the Aegis is going to retaliate and do 2 damage back. That gets the Taproot down to 1. The Taproot flips. We get a Warbriar, which is summoned, and the Warbriar comes in with 4 health. All right. First wave, I think we've saved ourselves from any mistakes. Super exciting. My turn. I am going to... Wow. All right, so Osh is now at full health. My grandiose plan with the Source Sniper has fallen apart. John Oldest and Hey Greg, got so much too many bonus content to get through. Not sure I'll ever get to Cloudspire. Any thoughts about how the two compare? Do you enjoy one more than the other, or do they scratch different itches? They definitely scratch different itches. I do enjoy Cloudspire more. I think the gameplay experience is more even. I think Too Many Bones, you know, there's more randomness and there's more of a chance that a playthrough just really starts. So you have that runaway loser problem. Sometimes a runaway winner problem, but less so playing or 1 or 2 gear locks. So I think Cloudspire just really goes much deeper in the puzzly aspect, but the rule systems for Cloudspire, it's a much tougher on-ramp. Learning Cloudspire was the least fun I've had learning a game in 2 years of doing this, and it's not even close for me. Learning this game was really, really miserable. So on the other end of learning it, obviously still have to remind myself of things like, oh, that retall could have killed that. It would have had to attack that, right? Those kind of things you'll get with just practice. But I do like Cloudspire more, for sure. All right. What am I doing now? It is my turn, right? So now I have a Warbriar, I have a Taproot, I have this dude who's pretty relentless, which is scary. And we have some other things going on. I have this. If I move, remember, if I move Osh in, Osh is going to get whacked. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Osh is in range of that retall. I don't want him to be there. But I do want him to upgrade. So that's bad. Remember, this Warbriar is Impale, so if there are units, after the movement, if there are units that the Warbriar is adjacent to that it was not adjacent to before it moved, it will automatically do 1 damage. So I could try to set that up that it does 1 damage to this great Grail Wolf. I definitely want to clear that out and make that a Spire. That's my best chance of kind of getting something done here. So how do I want to make that happen? Could just move the Aegis has to move forward. So I can do an adjacent, I can do a lateral movement with the Aegis if I want. I will not. I think that will work. This will work well. The question is what I want to do with Osh, because he's about to get walloped, and I don't like that. And it looks like we're going to be summoning both Warbriars, which I also don't love. Yikes. Oh, and notice when the Warbriar was summoned, because it came in after the Taproot had attacked, it comes in at that point of the unit's turn. So the Warbriar, even though it was summoned technically during the attack to the Grovetenders, the Wartender itself does not also get an attack. It's how that works. Now, you got to be careful. If a Taproot is reduced to 1 by a Spire firing, then the Warbriar would come in and would attack that round, but it does not move. So yeah, lots of kind of wrinkles with the summon and how all of that works. So the Aegis cannot make progress. So since it can't make progress, it does not have to use all its movement. I have the option of doing a lateral movement. I don't think I don't think I want to. We're just going to leave that sucker there. Osh, I'm just going to back up because I do not want to get attacked by this retall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. It cannot reach me back here. This retall is going to attack the Aegis. It's going to roll 1, and it does no damage, which is fine. Aegis had armored. Aegis is going to go ahead and attack the Warbriar. Nah, it's going to retaliate too. That's rough. Oh, man. Well, I don't think there's any way around it now, to be honest with you. So the Aegis is going to go ahead. I could just kill... Could do it that way. I could come in, do 1 damage with Osh, but then the Warbriar is going to come in and do 1 more damage, and that's bad. So the Aegis is going to attack the Taproot. Let's just kind of get the Warbriar out if that's where we're going, because I don't think I can avoid it. So it's going to have 4 health. and the Warbriar is here. We have a pair of Warbriars at your service. Um, excuse me. Don't let the Warbriar move so it doesn't impale. Right. So it's not going to impale anyway because it's adjacent to the Aegis when it starts, which is totally fine. So the Warbriars. So now we go to the Grovetenders' turn. The Warbriars are going to move 1, 2. This Warbriar was 1, 2. This Warbriar started its turn not adjacent to the Growlwolf. It ends its turn adjacent to the Growlwolf. So it does that. And unfortunately, our Aegis is going to be wiped out. Maybe? No, maybe not. Because, yeah, so this Warbriar is going to attack the Aegis, 1 damage. It retaliates the first time it's attacked. So that's down to 2 health. This Warbriar attacks the Aegis. It goes 1 damage. Again, it's attacking with a 2, but armored keeps my Aegis alive. And it does. The Aegis, though, does not retaliate the second time. So that's a thing. We're now going to go to the Brawnen's turn. The Brawnen's going to move here, and I'm actually going to move Osh down into this corner here. And you'll see why in a second. The Aegis is going to be attacked by this Retall. 1, 2, 3, 1. It's going to be attacked by this Retall, and this Shrubbery. Yeah. Aegis is not going to survive this. The first Retall is attacking with 2 attack dice. It only does 1 damage, reduced to 0. Oh, this would be magical. Oh, 2 damage, reduced to 1. The Aegis is dead. So that's done. And Osh is chilling back here because, again, I gave him a defense upgrade and not an attack upgrade, which is probably a strategic mistake. We're going to go to the Grovetenders' turn. The Grovetenders are going to move 1, 2. 1, 2. This Warbriar started its turn not adjacent to Osh. It ended up adjacent, so it does a damage. Removes that fortification chip. Remember, fortification chips behave differently on units than they do on spires. Fortification chips on spires, you need to you're normally attacking the bottom chip. If it's fortification, you need to do 2 damage. Fortification chips on units just basically function as health. Now, the Warbriar is adjacent to the Fortress Gate. It's also adjacent to Osh. Who's it going to attack? Normally, the hero is priority, a hero you can damage. However, it is always going to prioritize attacking my gate. My gate goes down to 8 health. Retaliation happens, and the Warbriar loses 1. Alright, now it's my turn. Osh is going to attack the Warbriar with doing 1 attack. We are going to be able to get a attack chip upgrade. I think makes some sense because I do want to be able to upgrade before this round is over. And Osh killed the Warbriar, so we get 1 source to get us up to 7. And we now have the Taproot comes back, and the Taproot is going to be the light version of the Taproot, so it only has 1 movement, still range, 2, and air defense and everything else, and it's still worth 2 source when we defeat it. The Grovetenders are going to go. The Grovetenders are, so that was Osh's turn. The Grovetenders are going to attack. The Taproot's going to attack the Fortress Gate. It does 1 damage to the Fortress Gate. It gets retaliated on. It's dead. So that's 2 source. We're up to 9. Beginning of my turn. I know this Warbriar is definitely going to favor that Fortress Gate. I'm going to do my limited build options. And I'm going to do 2 of them. I'm going to put out a drilling post, and I'm going to put out a dispatch platform. So that's going to be 7 worth of source. Remember, you have 2 limited build options each turn. And I'm going to put this drilling outpost here. And I want to put the dispatch platform here. Try to minimize the life that this dude has left. This platform has splash, so you may optionally choose to give one unit adjacent to every unit adjacent to a target 1 damage, but that would include your own units, so you need to be careful with that. Osh is just going to chill. The Warbriar is going to go. The Warbriar moves. At the end of its movement, it gives 1 damage to Osh because it ended up adjacent and it did not start adjacent. This dispatch platform is going to attack the Warbriar because it has range. It has 1 range tip, so it's 1 plus the 1. It does 0 damage. The Warbriar does 2 damage to the gate. Retaliation. that dispatch platform missing was really unfortunate because that would have made my turn a lot easier. Yikes. Osh cannot attack this Warbire now because it would get retaliated on and it would not go well for it. We're going to go back to the Grovetender's turn. Grovetender, movement phase is over. Spire attacks. It does 2 damage. Oh, so I can't even do my upgrade now. Oh, that's so bad. That did not play out well. The Warbire attacks the gate. 3 damage, 1 retaliate. That's 1 source. Oh, I can do my upgrade now. Never mind. I'm good because the Taproot's now back. So this Warbire is out. And now on my turn, Osh is going to attack the Taproot. Taproot's out. That gives me 2 more source. That gets me up to 5. And Osh can do upgrades. So he's already had his upgrade capacity, which is 1. So this upgrade attack chip goes away, and we just flip him. And now Osh has Hunter, which gives me +1 damage when I attack Landmark. But he also has Survival, which means that if he does not move and not move or attack in a turn, he gets 1 health back up to its maximum, which is only 3. But it's really important that I was able to get that right at the end there. So I was down to 2 source, remember, but then I just got 3 back. Oh, did I forget to take that too? Let me do the math. I got 4 for filling the Sabisa. I got another 6, so I had 10. I spent 7. I started the round with 2, so I should actually have 2 more source, which is super nice. Yeah, because I got it's down to 2. Math is hard. Warbire. 3, 7. This shouldn't be that hard to figure out, I guess. So I had 4 plus 6 in units, so that was 10. I started with 2, so that'd be 12, and I spent 7. Oh no, so I should only be at 5. I should only be, because I spent 3 here and 4 here. That makes some sense, right? I started around with 2 plus 10, 12. I spent 7. I'm good. End of the round, I'm going to take this drilling outpost away. That's going to get me up to 11. Again, so I spent 3 to put it out, but I got 3. I basically doubled up my source at the end of the round. Now, you could leave it there if you wanted to. There are some strategic reasons you would consider that, but I really want that source going into the next wave. So that is the end of the first wave. Let me look at the comments. I think drilling post is not possible as a limited build. Is it not? Oh, right. Good call. Good call. So I'm just going to get 3 less source. Good call. Right. Thank you for that correction. I knew that felt wrong, and like I did like 1 warm-up game, and I was like, something feels out of whack about that. So yeah. So instead of spending the 3, I just spent the 4, and I could have spent the 3 to do. Nah, I would just because I could do upgrades to that too. With a limited build, but I don't think it makes any difference. So I will just kind of let that be. Now, this is platform. Remember, its upgrade capacity is only 3, and it comes in with 2. So I'm at. So I effectively had 12 swords. I spent 4, so I have 8, and then we'll have some income. So yeah, thank you for that catch. I appreciate that. So now we go to wave 2. I'm going to take out the limited build options. I only did the 1 effectively, and now I have to figure out. Let's start with the wave. So I'm going to roll the event die. It's a 6. What happens on the 6? I place a landmark on all source wells. Great. So this open source well, which is really bad, is now going to have, unfortunately, I liked it being opened, but now it's going to have a landmark. This could go to our advantage. We'll see what happens. So I have how many of these landmark chips left? I have 4 swamp landmarks and 10 non-swamp landmarks. So I'm going to roll a d20. Come back d20. It's a 16. Well, I only have 14, so that's not helpful. It's a 3, so we get another swamp landmark there. It's probably best case scenario for me. We are going to go to the income phase. I get 7 more source. I get up to 15. That will work. Stickers kind of coming off the ship here, so let me kind of put that back. So we're at 15 source. And now we're going to go to the market phase as normal. These 2 chips go away. We get new market. I'm looking for Basa. I would love me some Basa. Basa is game-breakingly good for this scenario in getting that resource, and unfortunately did not get it. don't love really any of those. So the Fashioner is interesting. You get, when you're adjacent to a spire, you can spend 2 source to kind of add upgrades to it, but I don't think it's going to be the most useful thing for me to spend source on this turn. So that was kind of just a dud. So I'm not going to buy anything. Build phase. What do I want to upgrade here? I'm going to actually set up the Grovetenders and then deal with my build phase and my unit selection phase all together. So the Grovetenders are going to take their 3 taproots. Now remember, minions have to attack if they can, so they will attack this bounty hunter. They're going to attack this trackster. They're going to get roughed up a little bit in this wave in a way I really like. So having to reveal everything did change the scenario to some significant degree. We have the 3 taproots. Their summons this scenario. This wave is going to be a Warbriar again. So I'm going to now figure out what the heck I want to spend money on. Now, my gate's only down to 3, which is fine. Again, as soon as I get a Spire here, that's not even the mark for the Grovetenders anymore. I'm not that worried about only having 3 health at this point, especially the way I played that last scenario. I definitely want to spend 2 source to get a fortification chip under this dispatch platform. That makes it stronger against the range 2 attacks of the taproots. Remember, those range 2 attacks are only 1 each. So it's a much better situation now for that dispatch platform. I have 13 source left. Oh man, I could upgrade the Aegis because I still think they're so strong with this retall especially. And then it would start, well, it's attacking 2 anyway. Problem is it moves 1. It just moves so slow. I mean, the benefit of it moving slow is you can kind of hide a chip under it for a while, but I'm not sure I want to do that either, although it's not the craziest thing. Relentless is rough. Because these chips don't really attack, they just retaliate, which is really weird, right? So Relentless, units retaliation, roll the Spire die to determine how much of it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I guess all landlocked minions pretty much don't attack, they just retaliate. Having a range chip could help me potentially deal with this altar of aggression. I'm not sure the dispatch is all that great, considering. I have 7 to spend. If I bring the Aegis out, ugh, that's not the most amazing thing as far as having CP left to spend, right? So, I think if I bring an upgraded dispatch and an upgraded Aegis, it gives me some options. So I'm going to spend 5 to upgrade the Aegis, so that gets down to 8. I'm going to spend 4 to upgrade the Battleborn, and I'm going to spend 4 to upgrade the dispatch, so that gets me down to 0. So I had 15, I spent 2 on a fortification upgrade, I spent the rest on everything else. Now note, what was I going to say? I was going to say something really profound, guys. I I totally forget what it was. It was super profound. All right, let's go from here. Doing Cloudspire live shows some courage, or not smartness. Only because yo, I found your channel a few days ago. Good stuff. Thank you, Steven. It's too easy to do it. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I guess builds on landmarks if they are open. Yes, yeah, it only builds on landmarks if they're open. Yeah, yeah. So it's a really annoying die, but maybe it could work to our benefit, right? It could be another really easy source. I fortunately rolled a swamp. If it was a path hex, that could be interesting. It would give me some more options with movement. So we'll see. But I upgraded everything. I'm not going to bring a Battleborn in. I'm just going to dispatch and a Aegis. I think that range attack could really help deal with these wolves a little bit. The Aegis is going to have 3 health, and the upgraded dispatch has 3 health. And remember, the upgraded dispatch also has the ability to do splash, which could come in handy. I'm going to put the Aegis on top. The Brawnen are first in this wave, so Aegis is going to move 1. I'm not going to move. Oh, I might attack. Now, I'm not going to move or attack with Osh, and I'm not going to explore this. Retall 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 cannot reach the Aegis, so we're totally good. And since with survival there, Osh is going to get back up to full health. I think that's the most important thing I can do with him this turn. The Grovetenders are going to go. The Grovetenders are going to move 2, 2. There are no spires around. Obviously, there's very far from the range from this dispatch platform. And remember, this dispatch platform is range 2 can only get here because this is an empty space, so I have to go around it when I'm figuring out my range. It's now the Brawnen's turn. The Aegis are going to move. The dispatch are going to move. Again, dispatch has moved 2, but it cannot move both. So because it only has path allotment for movability, for terrain allowance is what I should say. Retall, this one is in range 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to roll 1 die. Hopefully it doesn't roll a 2. It rolls a 1. Armored reduces that to a 0. The other thing to note about the Aegis have assault. So on the upgraded side, so if I can magically get to the spire, which I doubt I can, but if I can magically get to the spire, I'm really just trying to slow roll them out a little bit to kind of, give some opportunity for the dispatch to do some ranged attack over here. Assault means that I take the bottom chip off and then attack, so it's a good way to get 2 chips off instead of 1. But really, I need to get, if I can get a siege tower on here for wave 3, that'd be great. It's going to be hard to do at the end of this wave. If you can get one of these landmark chips that give you a spire reward, like there or there, that's a huge advantage in this scenario. So the Retall attacked me. I'm now going to do the explore phase. What is it? It is the grasp. The Grail Wasps, it only has 2 health. Great. I'm just going to kill it with Osh. Osh is going to get an upgrade. I will give Osh a fortification upgrade. There's an argument to make for an attack upgrade, but I think the fortification upgrade made more sense, and I'm going to get 3 swords. Oh, my bad. These minions do have people to attack. Forgot about that. So this dude has foreboding and engage, so this taproot would attack for 1. The Traxxer would have retaliated for 2. This dude now has 1 health left, so we get a Warbriar with 4 health. Yeah, it was the Awaken thing really changes this scenario. And this dude, again, has to attack the Traxxer Loner. So the Traxxer Loner went from 4 health down to 2 health. And then, again, the 1 taproot went away because of retaliation. Interesting. So now the taproots have their second turn. So the taproots move 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are there any spires that can attack them? No, this dispatch platform is not able to attack that Warbriar, and obviously I want to protect this platform from the Warbriar. The Warbriar will prioritize the platform over a minion, but it will not prioritize a platform over a hero. Have to attack. Again, engage foreboding is still alive and well. I can choose the order of the attacks. I will. Do I want to just mess that guy up? I don't know. Maybe. The question is, do I want to retaliate on this taproot and make it another Warbriar going in? I probably don't. So I'm just going to have this taproot attack first. It's not adjacent, so it can't retaliate. Oh, the Traxxer Loner only has retaliate 1. My bad. Still a taproot. Still a taproot for now. We'll see you soon, Warbriar. So this taproot actually only has 2 health. Sorry, there's a bit of a glare where I'm sitting. So this taproot attacked. So I will attack with this taproot first. The Traxxer Loner retaliates. This taproot attacks and kills the Traxxer Loner. So he retaliated 2 separate waves, and we got 2 taproots down to 2 health instead of 1, which could be pretty helpful. And I'll put this Warbriar over here for kicks. Remember, the Grovetenders do not get source when that's defeated, and that was the second turn for the Grovetenders. And it's nice that we don't have a Warbriar out there yet, because that would have been really interesting. It made things a little bit tougher with this dispatch platform. This patch platform. That's a mouthful. So the Aegis is going to move 1. The dispatch has to move 2 if it can make progress. Fortunately, 1, 2 is not making progress. So since it can't make progress by using maximum amount, it only moves 1, so it's going to go there. I say fortunately because had the dispatch ended their turn there, remember this Shrubbery is still ready, willing, and able to start firing pot shots at the dispatch. The dispatch just moves 1 and goes there. And Osh, I think, is still going to chill back. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to stay. We could get attacked by the 1. I do have a fortification upgrade. Nah, maybe it doesn't make any sense. This Relentless is... No, I can actually work with that guy next turn. Yeah, because he was reducing 5 to 4 by the Warbriar last turn. That's fine. So we're going to leave the Osh here. The Retall is going to attack the Aegis. It's rolling die. It rolls a 0. We have nothing that we can attack. Dispatch only has range 2. Checking this game. Don't the Grovetenders attack the landmark? Yeah, thanks, Matthias. Saw that. Appreciate it, though. Because chances are good I would have missed it. Isaac Villa, this game looks so sick, but very complicated. Oh, it's a lot. And this is now on the regular side, so he still has moved too. All right. The Grovetenders are going to go 1, 2, maximum movement while maximum progress. This is the lean minion, so I do have to move him first. This Taproot, again, has to move maximum movement, so 1, 2. This Taproot moves maximum movement 1, 2. You know what I could have done? Actually, we go back here last turn. That Taproot could have attacked. This Taproot attacked. This Taproot attacked first, got retaliated. This Taproot attacked second. This Taproot would have attacked the Bounty Hunter, and retaliation with fair fight means it does as much attack as it takes. So I would actually reduce all 3 of those down to 2. I kind of like how that plays. I might regret that in a second. We'll see. Now they're going to move the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, you can choose the order that the AI attacks, and you can obviously do that to your maximum benefit. Are they in range of one of my spires? Absolutely they are. So we are going to attack this Taproot first. This Taproot, and I can... Oh, well, if I do splash, they all become Warbriars. That's not great. I don't want to do splash, as much as that would be great to knock out that Grail Viper. I can actually knock out that Grail Viper with 1 hit with Osh as soon as it's safe for me to head that way. But 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I want Osh to get here. But again, if once Osh steps on aisle 7, we activate Daiwan, which is nuts. So this platform is going to attack the Taproot. Roll a 2, buddy. Oh, asking you shall receive. So this Taproot is totally out. We get 2 XP for that. Not XP. We get 2 source for that. Out. Great. I'm not doing splash. The Taproots are going to attack. This Taproot, again, their priority is they're going to try to attack a Fortress Gate. Well, they can't reach it. A hero it can defeat. Well, they can't defeat anybody. So it's going to attack a hero it can damage. It can't attack a hero. A spire can damage. It cannot attack this. It cannot damage the dispatch platform where they put a fortification chip under it. A opposing faction minion it can damage. Well, this Taproot can damage the dispatch. So it's going to go ahead and do that. This Taproot can't reach any of my minions with its 2. So it will attack a landmark minion and it can damage. It's going to attack the Grail Viper. The Grail Viper will not retaliate because, again, it is not adjacent. Whew, that was a really nice 2 from that dispatch platform. Now later, when I want an attack 2 from a siege tower, actually I won't even need an attack 2 because there's no fortification chips over here. Interesting. My turn. So Aegis is going to move 1. Dispatch is going to move 1. And I'm not going to move Osh because I do not want him. Well, Osh will get attacked anyway. Because of this. Yeah, let me move Osh over here just to kind of get him in range to do something. So it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Aegis is getting attacked twice. 1, 1, 2, 3. Right. This Retall is going to attack the dispatch because it has a chance to potentially kill it. So we're rolling a 1 attack die for this Retall. Everything, and these 2 are both going to attack Aegis. So that's going to be a little hairy. So rolling against the dispatch, rolled a 1. Dispatch now has 1 health left. These 2 spires cannot reach the dispatch, and they cannot reach Osh. They're both going to attach Aegis. The first Retall's rolling 2 dice. It does 2 damage. It becomes 1 because of armored. The second one, the Shrubbery, is attacking the Aegis. It rolls 2 dice. It rolls 1 damage, becomes 0 because of armored. Really nice rolls there. Now we're going to choose our order of attacks here. The dispatch is going to attack the Grail Wolf. Yes, I know I could just wipe out this Taproot. Just trying to get some things done here. I might regret this. We'll see. And then the Aegis is going to attack the Werewolves. We kill the Werewolves, and we're going to get a Relic card. Let's see if it's something we want, or we can discard it immediately to get Force Source. Wow, crazy. So, Relic card, what is it? The Ashen Resolve. Now, when you get Relic cards, you always want to get the Relic cards that have this little hummingbird symbol in the corner. They are the ones you're supposed to use for solo play. During each prep phase, add 1 health to one of your selected minions. At the start of your turn, during the onslaught phase, you may discard this Relic to add 2 health to any unit. In both cases, you may exceed the unit's health stat. It's tempting. Oh, it's really tempting. I really want the Force Source, but I'm very tempted to use that with an Aegis to try to get it to survive down into the depths here. But that's a lot, man. That's 3 spires, and they're all gnarly. The question is, what other opportunities do I have for Source? I don't have a ton. 5 splash. Oh, decisions. These are what separate the men from the boys. Discard. Sure. Let me get my Aegises a little bit more set up because I just need one to get back into this back corner and really start messing with this Retol. But that could be bad. I could like bury something under an Aegis, maybe get a Battleborn under there, and like the Aegis, even if the Aegis gets here, dies, and then the Battleborn can do a bunch of damage, but it just won't have the assault. I don't know. So many things need to come together for that, though. This is a bad idea. All right, I'm discarding it. It's just too much that needs to work. I'm going to get the Force Source instead. Talk myself into it and out of it. So remember, I got a total of 5 Source already because I defeated a Taproot, I defeated this landmark minion that was placed, and I just defeated the wolves. Do I want to add... I did not do the smelter, but now that this is open, I do have influence over this tile because I have a spire here, so I could build a siege tower there, which would be perfect. I could start knocking both these retols down to size, so it kind of makes keeping that a little bit less tentacle. Splash is optional after you see the dice result. Yes, I think. Gotta go. Thanks for the play. Thank you for stopping by, Isaac. And let's see how this round now goes. All right. So, oh, this still has engage. Oh, that's really nice. So, we're going to the Grovetenders' turn. This Taproot can't move any further. This Taproot moves 1, 2. They are going to get attacked by the dispatch platform. And fortunately, I think this dispatch is going to be super dead. Because it can defeat the minion. It will attack a minion it can defeat before it damages a spire. That is correct. So we're going to have the dispatch platform attack this Taproot. I'm rolling a die. I rolled a 2. Wow, clean living. 2 more Source. Oh, keep rolling 2s. I'm not using Splash, which Matthias is right, totally optional. That goes out. That's ridiculous. Again, there's only 1, 2, and I rolled it twice, 2 turns in a row. That's really, really a fortunate turn of events for me. This Taproot has to attack the Altar of Aggression because of Engage. This game's so nuts. Alright, my turn. The Aegis cannot make progress. I can do an optional move. I will do an optional move because I do not want the dispatch to move 2 because that would be progress and that would trigger Daiwan, and that's just bad. So I'm going to move the Aegis here, and I'm going to move this dispatch just to 1 because it can't go 2. Now remember, 1, and I'm going to move Osh the heck out of there because I do not want it to get attacked at all. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3. This Retol will target the dispatch because it is a minion it can kill. Sorry, minion. So 1 damage. Dispatch is out. And 1, 1, 2, 3. These guys cannot reach the Aegis in his new position where I placed him. Now we're going to do attacks. The Aegis is going to attack the Taproot. He's out. So 2 more Source. It gets me up to 13. And now there are no more faction minions in play for the Grovetenders, right? So we go to the next round. I'm in campfire mode with Osh. Osh cannot do anything. He cannot be targeted. He cannot target. He can't do anything. He's just basically chilling. I put a little stick on him. Like his survival won't trigger. Like nothing triggers. He's totally in campfire mode because there were no more minions. There's no more units of the Grovetenders in play. So Aegis is gonna move. It moves 1. It's going to get attacked 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. It's getting attacked by 5 dice. If it survives, we can wipe out these Grail Vipers, which I wouldn't hate. So the Retall is attacking the Aegis with 2 dice. It rolls 2, so 1 damage. This Shrubbery is attacking the Aegis with 2 dice. It rolls 1, no damage. This Retall attacks the Aegis with 1 die. It rolls 1, no damage. Oh, clean living, kids. Grail Viper, out. Now I get another relic, and we'll see if I want to keep this one. What does this say? This relic, Swart Jerky. At the end of each wave, your heroes in play each gain a fortification upgrade, ignoring their upgrade capacity. Woo! That could be huge. Because if I have any chance of getting that, unless I see Baza, I'm going to really want that. Yes, I will keep that. That is great. So Aegis is going to go again. He moves 1. He's getting attacked by 5 dice again. That's 3 damage. So really, really good rolling. Was able to really maximize the advantage of that. At the end of the round, we're getting a fortification upgrade chip on our friend Osh. And I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's AWSH. Kind of a weird structure of things. That's really nice. I wish I took an attack upgrade on him now instead of the fortification, but you know, we'll take a bunch of extra health from Osh, and this actually just stays with me. So that is the end of round 2. Let me check. Hexes check, round counters check, forest and mountains check, mages. Are there manticores in this game? I don't think so. There are manticores with too many bones, man. Come on. That's funny. What's up, Daniel? How are you, man? Always a pleasure. So we're going to go to wave 3. I have 13 source. I'm going to get 9 source and income. Remember, oh, did I want to do a limited build knowing I had 9 source and income? I don't see the point, but probably. I do not have influence over that. I don't want to put a dispatch platform here. I want to make sure that's a siege tower. So I'm going to want to have the smelter. I don't want that to become another thing. Maybe I just take 2 dispatch platforms. They could come in handy. I don't know. It just would basically be 2 source. Can't upgrade anything. Nah, I just didn't use the limited build option. That's fine. And we'll get this up to 20. I just don't see what having a dispatch platform there would actually do for me. So we're just going to let that ride. Now we go to, so I did forget to roll the event die. So we go to the event phase first. I rolled a 3. What happens? We add an attack upgrade to Daiwan. So Daiwan has 2, she'll be doing 1 base damage plus 1 plus 1. So she'll be doing 3 base damage when she attacks, and she has range 2. And that can be extended when she does upgrades because she can get more range if she starts defeating some of my units. Alright, we're now going to do the market phase. The market phase is, now there is a thing where I can upgrade. I can get to myself where I can get 30 source in a turn, and that's probably smart because I'm going to be getting 11 source and 13 source in the next 2 income phases. So I should have done this in the first. I forgot about Earthscapes in the first market phases. In the first market phase, the Grovetenders technically purchased an Earthscape. It doesn't matter. In the second market phase, no one purchased this one. In the third market phase, this is here. These will go away. We're going to refresh the market, and the Grovetenders are first, so they're going to have the first choice of what they want to buy. Oh, don't take Baza. Oh, they're the worst. So bad. Yikes. Oh, I don't love that. So the Grovetenders are going to get a Merc Hero. Since there are 2 Merc Heroes, they can get the one that costs the most source. So they are taking Baza, and I love Baza in this scenario. So that was very unfortunate that did not work out for me. So I'm going to put just an unused Shrubbery or Retall chip under them, Baza is going to have 4 health, and Baza will be deployed with the rest of their tree-like forces. So, do I want to buy Kroon? He has 1 move. He is prepared. What is prepared? We go to our little landmark sheet here. Prepared, when this unit is dealt retaliation damage by another unit, reduce that damage by 1. I don't know how effective that's going to be. And poison for that extra market spire there. When this spire unit makes a successful attack, retaliation, that will remove health from a unit. The attack instead removes half of the unit's existing health. Rounded down. This unit or spire has an attack stat of a star. Its attacks and retaliations are always considered successful. That's attack stat of star. No, it doesn't have an attack stat of star. So I'm not going to get anything from the market phase. And now I'm going to do, like I did last time, do the prep phase for the Grovetenders first, and then come back to both my build phase and my spending my CP phase as well. So the Grovetenders are going to have 3 tap roots. That was some great rolling last time, guys. I'm feeling maybe it's my day. Remember, I have not gotten 3 renown in this yet, which is driving me a little bit crazy. So that's going to go there. We're going to now get the Merc that they hired. So Baza, we've lost you forever. I'm very sad. You are a turncoat, and I'm going to be angry at you forever. And the summon this round is going to be a Treed. The Treed are nasty. We want to try to avoid them if we can. What's wrong with the Treed? Well, they have Ram and they have Tough, which means that Tough is if we do retaliation damage to them that would be higher than 2, it's reduced to 2. Ram is when they attack a spire, instead of attacking, they just remove the top attack chip, which is super nasty. It would totally make that sucker go away, or make it just totally useless. In my build phase, I'm going to spend 6 CP in the smelter, or 6 source. I keep saying CP or XP or whatever. 6 source to build the smelter, which is going to allow me the option to build siege towers, which is huge. I'm then going to spend another 6p, and I think I just do this right off the bat. Because the other option is I could get an architect out, but I just think that's not an efficient use of my life right now. Of my resources, I should say. My life, whatever. I'm going to build a siege tower immediately, and we're going to build a siege tower there. I do have influence over that because I have a dispatch platform over there. Siege tower comes in with 1 attack chip and 2 range chips. Oh no! I'm out of range chips. Oh man. That's really unfortunate. Well, I can start digging into this guy at least, and then we're going to have to figure out how to do an upgrade. Shoot. So we only have 1 range chip. These are limited by design. I'm going to make sure I didn't waste one somewhere. Nope. Nope. We're good. That's what we got. So, oh man, that's super unfortunate. I'm going to spend another 2 to get a fortification chip under the sucker 2, again, because those tap roots and their attack 2 is super annoying. And now when I get 4 CP, once I get a range chip back from here, I can, in a limited build, I can put another range chip under it, and that will be cool. So I only have 6 CP left to spend. I'm gonna upgrade the source drill, which is gonna give me a 3 extra. Is that worth it? I'm gonna be maxed out at 20. Yeah, I don't have the 10 to do what I want. I have no more range chips. Oh, that's so stupid. Really bad. Some of these events, the event die results 1 or 2, you get to remove a thing from both a Brawnen and a Grovetender Spire. That's one way to really get range chips back. This last 6 is interesting. I could try to get to the assembly just for kicks. That could come in handy. So I would be upgrading an architect just to get close to the assembly. I don't mind that. Where's my next source coming from? That's also a question. But if I go here, he gets attacked by 2. Go here, he gets attacked by 2. I'm trying to think if I can get that piece of research back this wave because I'm getting worried about running out of time. If I roll okay, grab that, get back here. We don't have range. can he withstand 2 attacks with 5 chips? If I roll average, I mean, I can see how the first roll is and then decide if I want to continue on with that course, or I just wait to do that next round when the Swart Jerky will give me even another defense chip underneath the Osh. I'm going to save the source because I'm worried I might not have another option for source anytime soon. And that way, as soon as I get as soon as I knock one of these range chips off this retall, remember I have to be adjacent to the shrubbery to attack it, I'll be able to spend that and get additional range so I can start knocking down this retall, because this is the one that's attacking with 2 dice and 1, 2, 3, 4 away. It's really bad. Alright, so I have 9 CP. How do I want to spend this? I definitely want to get another Aegis. It's so important to withstand as many of these attacks as we can. I'm going to get a Battleborn and a Dispatch, I think. Forsaken just costs so many CP. I don't know what Drang would do for me, though. Do I like you, Drang? I mean, I kind of like you, but man, you are not great. I do want another hero, but this guy's only moving 1, which is really just too slow. Upgraded Drang still only moving 2. Well, it's wave 3. We'll see. If I don't get another hero in the market phase next turn, then I'll go with Drang. So I'm going to have 3 health with the Aegis, 3 health with the Dispatch, 3 health with the Battleborn. I'm going to put the Aegis, Battleborn, Aegis. And remember, upgraded Battleborn moves 3. Upgraded Aegis actually loses a movement. Upgraded Battleborn gains a movement. If I was stacking, the Aegis would have to go on top. I don't think I want to stack yet. I just think I want to give myself maximum options of how I want to make all of this work. Yeah, this should do. Man. Alright. So the Grovetenders are first. Let's see what's going on here. Blood Rage seems to be there, sure. Hi, Daniel, Tiny Fred, Maze Knight. Last Saturday had a great time. Tiny Fred. I want to be Tiny Fred. Matthias, they knew the number of ranges when they made the scenario, no doubt. Source Siege, maybe. Yeah, it's not a terrible idea. I just don't know where my next source. I'm going to have a range chip, and I want to be able to put a range chip on that ASAP. Every time I hear Shrubbery, I suddenly want to start saying N-I. I don't know the references. Cool. Alright, the Grovetenders start this beast, so 1, 2, 1. They're going to attack the Bounty Hunter. The first one attacks, Bounty Hunter retaliates. The second one attacks, Bounty Hunter does not retaliate. Obviously, they're not in range of anything. My turn. Osh. Well, the Siege Tower gets to raise, so they can attack this retall. It's rolling 1 chip. It misses. Yay! Like, oh my gosh, dude. I'm so good. Oh, that just changes some things. It's really irritating. So I'm just going to move back here with Osh. And Aegis moves 1. Taproot, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Basa. Now, he's got Survival and Water Walker, so he can move anywhere, but his target, again, is still going to be the Fortress Gate for the Brawnen. This Taproot is going to attack first. We've killed the Bounty Hunter, no retaliation. And that's it. Now that we have this opened up, the Treed that will come out in future, remember, their movement allowance is going to make them jump out into the screen, into the middle of the world a little bit quicker than is ideal for sure. So, Siege Tower, please knock off one of these range chips. Hey, we have a range chip. Yay! Alright, Aegis is going to move. The Dispatch is going to move. We now go to the... Wait, 1, 2. Wait, 1, 2. Yeah, I couldn't reach there. So the Taproot's going to move 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. We have 3 movement. It can move here while still. Oh, it's got all allotments. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. That's just what it does. So the dispatch platform has range 2. I'm going to attack this taproot. Do I want to do splash? Oh, probably not. No, I'll attack Bassa. It's going to make more sense, I think. Yeah, we're going to attack Bassa with the 1 attack die. It does 2 damage and splash. So we reduce that taproot down to 2. So 2, 3, 2. And Bassa's down to 2. This siege tower is in range of both these taproots. We're going to attack this taproot. It does 1 damage, so all the taproots have 2 health left. Now the taproots are going to attack. They cannot damage this siege tower. They cannot damage this siege tower. Those fortification chips come in huge. They can't damage the Aegis. They can't damage anything. They're just totally chilling. What a bunch of losers. You're not a loser. All right. I'm going to spend the 4 CP, or 4 source. I keep saying the wrong thing. I get down to 2. And I'm going to put the range chip I just got underneath this siege tower. The siege tower is going to roll 1 die against this retall. It does 2 damage. It reduces just to 1, which is enough to take off that range chip. And now we're going to carry the rest of my turn. So the Aegis are going to move here. The dispatch moves here. 2 would not make progress, so it just moves there. And this goes there. Anything attacking? Well, 1, 1, 2. No. 1, 1, 2, 3. No. Out of range of everything, which is super nice. We're going to start really limiting the impact of these retalls, except for the fact that this shrubbery is still going to be able to attack. The Aegis is going to attack this taproot. Yeah, there's nothing much I can do about this. I'm only going to be killing one of these guys. So the Aegis is attacking the taproot. Out. So we get 2 source from that, gets us up to 4. Taproot out, and done. Grovetenders. Grovetenders are going to have to move maximum movement. 1, 2 with path allowance. 1, 2. Boz is going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. What is firing at what? Well, this siege tower. I think we're about to see a treed, people, which I don't love. Because remember, once we treed comes in, it hasn't attacked yet. We are going to start, we're going to start having to deal with that. Unless I keep rolling 2s like a magical mystery rad right now. So I'm going to attack this tap. Oof. Yeah, any splash would be bad because I'd have to, Aegis would get hung up in that mess too. So I do not want this to be, well, if this is a treed, it would attack the spire it could damage. I'd rather the dispatch platform get hurt more than the siege tower, right? So that's going to make the most sense. I'm going to attack this taproot with the dispatch platform. I did 1 damage. At the end of that, it becomes a treed. Yay! So it flips over. We get ourselves an advanced treed. Any summons are always advanced. Where are you, treeds? Are you a treed? No. Here's a treed. So treed comes in with 5 health. And a taproot is going to be chilling underneath there. This siege tower is attacking the treed now. It does 1 damage. The treed, again, because of ram, so we're going to read this out loud, make sure we're doing this right. When this unit attacks a spire with an attack upgrade, instead of dealing damage, it removes the topmost attack upgrade from the spire. So the treed is going to damage the spire before it attacks the minion. So it's going to just take that attack up. So now that dispatch platform has really no utility at all. And I'll put this over here so I know where it is. And this taproot is going to, it cannot damage the Aegis. It cannot damage either. It can damage this spire, however. Oh, I'm going to lose the range chip. Shoot. I would have put, knowing that. How did that play out last turn? This must have been here. I just added that this turn, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I could have waited too. Let me put Osh there. because he's now out of range of this retall. So little revisionist history, but he has to move there because I do not want to lose that range upgrade. I spent 4 source for it. And the Taproot is going to attack Osh because he can damage it, and Osh will retaliate and actually just wipe out this Taproot. So that actually works as his attack is a 2, and it will attack Osh over attacking a Spire. And I think that's right. Yeah, it's going to attack a hero can damage before a Spire can damage. Retaliates automatic. We get 2 source, and this sucker is out. So that worked out actually a lot better, just seeing that, knowing we have that retaliate. The tree still attacked the Spire though, so there was nothing I could do to protect that. It is now the Brawnen's turn. The siege tower is going to attack, well, 2. This is only rolling 1 die. This is going to be still rolling 2. So the siege tower now, with the range upgrade that it has, is going to attack this. Rolling 1 die. It does 2 damage. It becomes 1. 2s are hot. And I'm going to 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Osh would be in the line of fire there, so Osh will just chill where he is. Yeah, because we'll have enough to kill this tree. So Aegis is going to move 1. Dispatch moves 1. Battleborn cannot make progress if it goes up there. Oh, Beza still has an attack. Beza will attack the Battleborn, and the Battleborn will retaliate 2. Beza's out, and we get 2 source from that. He's hiding up there, Beza. Thanks for playing, sir. Yeah, Beza could have attacked either of those minions that it could damage, so it was all the same, but totally up. So I'd rather do the 1 damage on the Battleborn than the 1 damage on the Dispatch. Dispatch is a little bit more valuable with its range attack. That works. Great. So the Retall 1, 1, 2 is attacking 2, 3. So basically the Shrubbery and the Retall are both attacking the Aegis. It's the only thing that's in range. So the first Shrubbery is going to roll 2 dice. It gets 2 damage. It gets a 0 and a 2, so 1 damage. This Retall's rolling 1 die, does no damage. The Aegis and the... oh, shoot. This dude's retaliating into one of these guys. That's rough. Definitely want to keep the Aegis alive. Stinks. So the Dispatch is going to attack with 2. The tree retaliates. And the Aegis is going to attack with 2. The tree is out. And 2 source for that. So we go from 8 to 10. Over here with the tree. Done. And now we go to the Grovetender's turn. The Grovetender, he end of movement. The siege tower is going to attack the Taproot. Ooh, 0 damage. The Taproot is going to attack a minion it can destroy before it attacks anything else. So it's going to attack this Dispatch. So good thing the Dispatch was not to 1. Otherwise, we would have lost that range upgrade on the siege tower. And he survives. So me rolling the 1 there, the 0 there was kind of stinky, but I've been rolling so many 2s that I really can't complain. My turn. Siege tower first. Definitely trying to cut down this Retall because it has the 2 attack dice. I did 1 damage. So this range chip is out. So now you have 3 to play with over there. Aegis is going to move here. Osh is going to move. The Battleborn is going to move 1, 2. And Osh is going to move here. It doesn't really matter what's attacking what. Again, this can only get to there now, but the Shrubbery can still reach Aegis. 1, 3. In theory, could kill Aegis. This Retall could kill Aegis. Don't know if it makes sense to try to keep Aegis. Aegis getting here and like knocking that out could be really good. So I feel probably stronger about that. So I'll have this. This could wipe out the Battleborn. So I'll have this Shrubbery attack the Battleborn with 2 dice. Only 1 damage. Battleborn survives. This Retall cannot kill Aegis anymore though because of the armor. So this Retall now has to attack the Battleborn. So that was kind of a miscalculation on my part. Battleborn is out. It's fine. So I mean the problem is if I had rolled against the Battleborn first, and I rolled a 2. Battleborn's out, then this has to attack the Aegis, and that would have not been what I wanted to do. We are going to just kill the Taproot. That's 2 source, up to 12. Taproot's out. And we are now going to be in campfire mode with Osh. Beginning of my next turn, the Siege Tower is attacking this Retall. Does 2, get rid of that range. Do I want to do any upgrades? That's a good question. I don't think so. Aegis is going to move here. He's getting attacked just by these 2 dice from there. Shrubbery rolls 3. Unfortunately, Aegis is out, was not able to dig into the altar of aggression at all. We're getting there, though. Yikes. Again, once I have this cleared off, I can build a siege tower there. What's my income? My income is going to be 11 next turn. So that's fine. Again, I'm just going to... I could have spent 4 to get a tower out. Yeah, let me use my second limited build option. That makes more sense. And I'm going to get a... not a siege tower. I'm going to get a... well, that could be dangerous too. Not a siege tower. Yeah, I'll just... 819. Yeah, I'll get a dispatch platform and I'll put it over, or I could just add an attack chip to the dispatch platform. That probably makes the most sense. So I'll just spend instead of spending 4, I'll just spend 3 with my second limited build and get this back to functionality for future rounds. Now it's under the attack chip's underneath the fortification chip, so it's not going to make it that vulnerable. It's going to make it really vulnerable to the taproots, is what I meant to say. But I think that makes more sense to put in something there. So campfire mode ends. At the end of the round, Sword Jerky comes into play. I get a fortification chip. We are going to go to wave 4. All right. Poor Baza. Oh, right, they have camouflage. Oh, yeah, it's bad. Lots of time with slow Aegis to roll a 1. Yeah, no doubt. You should say don't roll 2. I think that is spam. So I'm going to block you, sir. Why is that? Should be over here. All right. We move. Yep. I don't know why it's not giving me block of base abilities there. Poor Baza. Gotta run. Love the channel. You play all my favorite solo games. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Rory. Bye. Spend some time. Send a source because you already have 12. Yeah, saw that. Cool. We are good. So we're going to go to the event. I'm going to roll the event die. It's a 2. Remove the bottom upgrade from a Brawnen Spire and a Grovetender Spire of your choice. Yes, please. I'm going to remove the bottom upgrade from the Shrubbery, and I'm going to remove the bottom upgrade that I just built on the dispatch platform, which is honestly more than fine with me. So that worked out. Getting his range down is very significant to give me a better chance to get in there. That camouflage is just really brutal. Same with this Shrubbery over here for what that's worth. So I'm going to get my 11 source. I'm maxed out at 20. And now we do the market phase as normal. Brawnen are first. Give me a hero with a lot of movement. Hero. That is a minion. That is anarchy. I don't hate that. That is a hunter. So 3 minions. That's interesting. Move 3. So anarchy is nuts in that before the unit's movement in turn, you roll a d6. On a 5 or a 6, it's just discarded. So you really want to stack it with a slower movement, a slower unit, and hope it just survives. It only costs 1 source, so it's kind of like a no-brainer. Or I take the Mountaineer and try to kill that altar of aggression. Get a siege tower there. That's actually not even going to help me very much. I want to get siege tower there. It's not going to be. I just need to start building towers. I definitely need to get one tower built this round to give me a chance. I am going to want to trigger Daiwan this turn, and I want another hero. I have 11 CP, so if I get another minion, it'll make it dexterity. What's dexterity? Dexterity is if damage from a retaliating unit would defeat this unit, instead reduce the damage to 0. Interesting. Near 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He can kill him in 2, 2. Yeah, I'm gonna get the Mountaineer for 3. And that's gonna give me. I have to get. I think I use Osh to get this back this round. It's gonna be the only chance for me to get all 3 research here. So the Mountaineer is gonna have Krang underneath it. It has 4 health. And that's fine. I like the Hunter. I just know I have a very specific purpose for the Mountaineer where it can go kill the Altar of Aggression because it has Hunter and it will knock that out without having to worry about the entropy issue. Let me do the setup for the Grovetenders now, and then I'll do the rest of my build phase and then the prep phase for the Brawnen. So the Grovetenders have 3 taproots. They are all coming in unpromoted. It's again, the taproots are a little strange in that their promoted side is stronger than their non-promoted side is stronger than their promoted side. So 1, 2, and 3. What else do we have? Well, we have 2 grouped trees. We've already seen the power of those suckers. And they have 4 health, so it's not the upgraded tree that comes in with the summon in wave 3. It's just a regular tree, which basically the biggest difference is there's 1 less attack, 1 less movement, but it's the same keywords. Remember, and they don't have the forest movement allowance. So they're going to have to take the long way around with the path. Wave 5 is when this stack is going to be absolutely absurd. Alright. I'm going to spend source. What do I want to spend source on, people? I'm going to spend... And I really don't think it makes much sense to invest in that dispatch platform right now. Do want to get Dring on the board. So knowing I'm spending the CP on her, she has 1 possible upgrade. She's range 2. Camouflage is brutal. Don't know if the architect makes sense. Could get the upgraded siege, the source siege. It has range 4, which is super strong, but again won't do much against a shrubbery. You still have to be adjacent, but it costs 6 CP to come out, so that's a huge problem. I could double up my chances in the market phase. I can give myself, I'm going to get 13 source next turn, so I could just really load this up, spend 10 there. That would get me down to 7. Spend the construction yard. Get another thing there. I like that. We will do the upgraded architects, although I'm not going to be using them. But I get the, well, that's just got a waste of money. I just don't know if these spires are going to be all that helpful for me right now. But probably are more helpful than I realize. Yeah, let me get the ability to ignore upgrades, and then I'm going to just max out over here. So I have 0 source left. But I'm going to get 3 source off the top next time, and I'm going to be able to get the what's it? My source can now go up to 30, which can be huge. So I did the assembly, so I'm going to get my assembly die. I'm going to roll this, and then I can attach this upgrade to any die, any spire of my choice. I got a +1 attack upgrade, and I'll put this on the dispatch platform. So I basically spent 7. I netted less, but now I can ignore upgrades for the next wave. I can ignore limits for the next wave, so that's helpful. And now I have the CP to spend. I'm spending 4 on Drain. I just want to get her out, and I'm going to spend the rest of my CP. I want to get an Aegis, and I want to get a dispatch. That makes some sense. 1, 2. So I'll get the hero out first. Her movement allotment is the same as Osh's, so she can move through forest. And then on the upgraded side, she can actually move through mountains. So she has a little bit of Krang in her, or Cram, not Krang. So 4 health for Drang, 3 health for Aegis, and 3 health for the dispatch. Cool. Brawnen are first. Let me see what's going on. Group anarchy, so it doesn't trigger. Yeah, I saw that. This one took me a few goes to get all. One or all goals. Yeah, all. All is nuts. Sorry, I got this screen set up. Cool. There we go. I was seeing myself in the light and it was like really tripping me out. So, oh, and then I have this Mountaineer. Yeah, anarchy is nice, but it's so. I think I just want to take the certainty of what I want to do with the Mountaineer and make that happen. So I'll just do Drang here, and then we'll figure this out. So Drang has moved 2, so I'm going to move her here. Well, I'm going to move Osh first, get him out of the way. Move Drang here, and then move the Mountaineer 1, 2, 3. Oh, I have a Siege Tower too. So Siege Tower, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for this Retall. Air Ball. Awesome. So Mountaineer moves 1, 2, 3. And the Aegis moves 1. The Taproots go 1, 2. Taproot goes 1. They're blocked in now. My turn. Siege Tower goes for the Retall. Rolls a 1. It's going to be defeated next time I get a successful attack on it. The Mountaineer goes 1, 2, 3. The Aegis goes 1. Dispatch goes 1. I will move Drang because why not? 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Not in range of anything. Again, that event die was huge to knock off that 1 range chip that it had. The Mountaineer is going to attack the altar of aggression. It's a hunter, so it actually knocks off all 3 of that. And this is just out, and that's now an open source well. So I don't have to worry about the engage anymore. Now the Mountaineer could get in there and has a small chance of surviving all those attacks, especially if I can. 2, 3. Yeah, if I can knock that 1 chip out. I just need, 1, 0 to come up. So that's done. No source left. Awesome. The Taproots are going to move 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The Trees move and they're grouping. This Siege Tower, well, the Dispatch platform doesn't have range. This Siege Tower does, so it's going to attack. That Taproot's the only thing it can reach. I roll 1 damage. Nothing's within range for the Taproots to attack. And now it's my turn. Siege Tower is going to attack that Retall. I rolled a 1. It's out. I get 2 source. And we now finally have an opening there. So if I build a tower there, that will immediately switch their goal to go toward my my spire, not tower. These go away. Or bye-bye. Bye-bye, Retall. Thank you for playing. It was a pleasure. So the Mountaineer is going to go 1, 2, 3. Drang is going to go 1, 2. There's 4 health, which isn't bad. I think she's the one who grabs that chip this time. Aegis goes 1, and Dispatch goes 1. Oh, so in theory, my bad. I had to move Drang first, Then I could move all the minions. So I move the Mountaineer after I move Drain, because again, remember the Mountaineer is there. Then I could move Osh. So you can't move a hero in between the rest of the movement, and that includes, so like it's like hero minions hero or minions hero or hero minions. You can't go minion hero minion. Um, 4 dice. Let me get a little bit lucky here. Whoa! Well, 3 damage is not the start of a beautiful way of getting lucky. 2 more attacks. 5 damage. Mountaineer is out, but it did its purpose. I just wanted to take that out with one thing without one of my other minions taking 2 damage. The Grovetenders are going to go. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What's priority? They are going to prioritize injuring a hero before they prioritize injuring a spire. All 3 of them are attacking Drain. It's her allotment. It is.
She's in a dangerous place.
1, 1, 2. That would be within range. Nuts. So, well, my spires will fire first. So let's see if I can't. Want to be really careful here. So I do not want to turn one of these into a upgraded Vine Herald. Although upgraded Vine Heralds, what do they attack with? Upgraded Vine Heralds are only attacking 1, so they're not the worst. So I just want to make sure Drain doesn't get defeated this turn. So the Dispatch Platform is going to attack this Taproot. Not going to be doing splash. 2 damage. I attacked the wrong Taproot, kids. So Vine Herald is in. Comes in with 4 health. Yikes. So it has air defense, it has range 2, and it has capture. So if it defeats a minion, it actually captures it, and you can just put the captured over there. And then once you attack the Fortress Gate, you get it back. So it's basically a way of kind of lessening your barracks. It's kind of something to deal with. That was the Dispatch Platform. This Siege Tower is attacking. I'll have it attack this minion out here, just in case. Yeah, I don't think I'm rolling another 2. I rolled a 1, so this Taproot is out. Or down to 2 instead of 3. Great. Who's attacking what? They're all attacking Drain. That is their priority. She is a hero, so she's down to 1. I'll have her retaliate against the Vine Herald. So she can easily be defeated. She's only doing 1 damage, so I definitely need to get her an upgrade fast. I
do not want her to die. Don't die.
Siege Tower attacking over here. Oh my gosh, I airballed again. Woo! That's not great. Drang is going to move. Drang's going to stay right there. She's doing 1 attack. Yeah, I think that will work. Should be able to keep her alive. So Aegis is going to move 1. The Dispatch is going to move 1. So I move Drang. No, you know what? I'm going to move Drang here. Osh is going to move 2. Aegis is going to move 1. Dispatch is going to move 1. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. They don't have any range to any of these guys. Now, who can I attack first? The Dispatch. Yeah, I mean, I could try to get her a level up if she can kill something, but it just was looking really hairy, which is why I want to do it this way. Knock out both of them. No, I like it the way I was doing it. I like it the way I was doing it because it's not going to matter. We'll leave Osh over there. She stays there. Because I'm going to attack with the Dispatch to reduce the Vine Herald to 1. I'm going to attack with Drang. She defeats him and giving her a fortification chip as an upgrade. And again, at the end of the round, she'll get another health back because of Sword Jerky. Vine Herald is away. It is now just a measly Taproot. I get 1 source from that. That gives me up to 3. Bye-bye, Vine Herald. 1 health for this dude. And then the Aegis is going to attack this taproot. It's reduced to 0, so I get 2 source, gets me up to 5. And that's out. That was a really successful turn. See what these trees do, however. So this guy only moves 1, moves 1, moves 1, because he can't move 2. The dispatch platform is going to still only a Vine Herald, only doing 1. So the siege tower, let me make sure I kill this taproot. Yeah, I don't want to do splash again. Oh, the splash for the Vine, yeah, the splash of the Vine Herald would have hurt Drang as well. So I gotta, yeah, the splash is really tough if you're actually up in there. So the dispatch platform is going to attack this taproot. I gotta make sure it dies. It does. That's 2 source. We get up to 7. This siege tower is going to attack the treed. Yeah, that's a much better way for this to go. 1 damage to the treed. The tree's got no one to attack. The taproot is going to attack a hero it can damage. So it's going to attack Drang. Drang retaliates for 1 and now becomes a Vine Herald. Awesome. Yeah, it's still fine. So Drang retaliates for 1. Vine Herald is now in the house. But again, Vine Heralds really aren't that bad. I don't mind them all that much. My turn. I think I'm going to have to go back to where I was at and move Drang out of the way. I just don't love her with just 1 health. Thanks. My siege tower is going to go, going after that retall. 1 damage, so it has no more range except for adjacent. Let's see what's going on here. You should play Crushing Bullet with the siege tower and no dice rolls needed. Ouch. I found buying an earth tile help, but clearly decided against buying it in this run. When did the heroes get a fortification from the relic? Start of onslaught or end? Yeah, not much slack for bad rolls, so end. Okay. We are. Gonna have to do my movement now. Come on, if I can just get the Aegis down there this turn, I really kind of like my chances. I do have to build something there before the end of this, though. So Drang, oh. Retaliate 1 is not awful. I just can't. I'm trying to get that freaking thing, but I just can't. Drang only has 1 health now. So let me move the minions first, and I think that will give me a better sense of what I want to do. So leading minions Aegis is going to displace Drang. The dispatch is going to move 2, also displacing Drang. Remember, heroes are displaced by minions. Drang is now going to hang out in safety, but she does have range attack, which could play a role. Nah, I don't think it will. And Osh is going to now come down. Maybe he can grab that this turn. The dispatch is attacking the Vine Herald. Takes 1 retaliate. The Aegis is attacking the Vine Herald. Vine Herald is out. 1 source. 1 health for the reduced taproot. The taproot can't move. The treed can't move. That's fine. We'll leave Drang. I mean, if I don't kill this with 2 attacks on the taproot, I shouldn't be playing this game. So I rolled a 1. The taproot is out. 2 source. It gets us up to 10. This siege tower is attacking with 1 die against the treed. 2 damage. that's down to 1. Siege Tower, beginning of the Brawnen turn. That Retall is almost dead. Aegis moves 1. Dispatch moves 1. Well, I do not. Do I want to trigger this yet? Yeah, I'm going to have to trigger it at some point, right? But you got range 2. Start getting Daiwan over. Remember, as soon as I step on there, we activate Daiwan. And then we're going to have to deal with her. But I don't think that's the worst idea ever. So Aegis goes 1. Dispatch goes 1, 2. We've activated Daiwan. Hello, welcome to the game. And now we go with the tree. And now we go with Osh. No, that's fine. Osh is gonna.
Awesome. I just want to get in, guys. Let me in.
I'll move Drain 1. And you'll see why I did that. Attacks. Drain's gonna be able to kill the tree. She gets an upgrade. I get 2 source from that. I'm going to give her fortification, obviously, because she's hurting. And then we have another tree underneath with 4 health. He's only attacking with 1 because, again, it's not the super version. It's just the other version. Dispatch is attacking with 2. That will do. Aegis does nothing. The Grovetenders are going to go. The tree's going to come here. Daiwan moves 1, 2. The Dispatch platform is attacking the tree with 1 die. It does 1 damage. The Siege Tower is attacking the tree with 1 die. It does 1 damage. The tree's out. 2 more source. Daiwan is not close enough to do an attack. My turn. I'm going to do limited build. I think. Remember, Daiwan's just going for the closest unit. And I still need to get. I can only have 2 heroes out, so I still need to somehow. I'm not going to have the time. I'm not going to be able to get all 3. There's no way I'm getting all 3. I think I just give up on that. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, I couldn't even get Osh in there to like kind of make it work. It's fine. If I can get 2 renown, that's a pretty successful round. So what limited builds do I want to do? I will do, well, if I have a siege tower here, I can use that to actually attack the shrubbery. So that's actually pretty huge. Something I was forgetting about. So that's 8. I'm going to go 14 down to 6. Probably had missed a couple of rounds where I could have done this. I'm going to get an attack and 2 of these. But before I even get the limited build, at the beginning of the turn, this siege tower has to attack. So I actually can't use the siege tower I just built on next turn. So that's one of my 2 limited builds, which is done. This thing's out. That's 2 source, gets me up to 10. That's the other retall. Aegis is going to move here. Ding. Drain is... Oh, there's no more minions. Right. My heroes are... No, but there's another unit. There is another unit. So they're not in campfire mode yet. This is doing 3 attacks, so that would kill Drang, which is really bad. So Drang needs to move 1, 2. Try to get away. It's only range 2. Remember, if Diamond kills anything, she gets another range chip. Osh, I'll put here so he can set himself up for retaliate. He can take 3, give 2, and then we'll see about trying to knock Daiwan down to size. This Aegis is in range of the Shrubbery. The Shrubbery is rolling 2 attack dice. It does 3 damage, so Aegis is down to 1 health. That was an unfortunate roll. We now go to the Grovetenders' turn. The Grovetenders are going to do 1, 2. This dispatch platform is attacking the Daiwan. It does 1 damage. Siege Tower is attacking Daiwan. It does 2 damage. Daiwan is attacking Osh. It's doing 3 damage. Osh retaliates with 2 damage. We now go to the Brawnen's turn. Their both Siege Towers are attacking the Shrubbery. 1 damage. Attacking. Oh, that is huge miss right there. So the Aegis is going to move here. Dispatch moves here. Drang is going to just chill there. This Shrubbery is going to attack the Aegis because it just has enough range. It's rolling 2 dice. It rolls 2, so the Aegis is out. So he definitely wanted to get that Siege Tower out 1 round earlier. That was a mistake on my part. But the Dispatch is still here. Osh is going to attack, 2 damage. We've killed Daiwan. So she's going to drop that piece of research there. Now, there's no units left, and that's going to be 2 swords. So I get up to 12. There are no more units left from the Grovetenders. So I'm going to give a fortification upgrade to Osh, and both of my heroes are now in campfire mode. That goes there, and these 2 go there. What's going on here? All right, no more comments. We're now going to finish the turn. So I go again because there's no units left for the Grovetenders. Siege Towers are both attacking the Shrubbery. There's a roll. So just the last fortification comes off. Oh, this is going to kill the Dispatch, isn't it? That's amazing. So 1, 2, and 2 attacks because I just keep rolling bad with my Siege Towers. The Dispatch is out. But that's fine. I have the 2 Siege Towers in place to wipe out this Shrubbery because Camouflage, again, doesn't protect it against all spires. It just protects it against non-adjacent spires. I could have actually, I should just go ahead and do this. I would have spent 4 to build a, I'm not even going to bother with the Dispatch. I'm just going to build a, no, I can't build that there. No, well, I can get, never mind. I can get lance launchers. I'm just going to build a dispatch platform here because I can. So end of the round, I get a fortification chip on both Drang and on Osh, my 2 heroes. We're going to we're going to roll the event die. Remember, Daiwan is dead. I rolled a 2. Remove the bottom upgrade from a Brawnen spire of your choice. I'm going to remove it from just this Siege Tower. Who cares? And from a Grovetender spire of your choice. So the Shrubbery is down to just the 1. And let's carry out the rest of this. So we get 13 source plus 3 source because of source drill. So I'm going to get up to 20. So that's 20. It's 16 total plus 8. So I have 24 source. Remember, I did upgrade so I can have up to 30. Cool. We go to the market phase. Again, I should have been doing the Earthscapes. This goes here. Is it a hero? The Grovetenders are going to purchase a Merc hero, and if not, a Merc minion. There are 2 Merc minions. They're going to get the one that costs more. I mean, they both cost 4. Fair Fight and Relentless. I mean, I'm just going to randomize it. I don't know if there's a right answer here. Since they both cost 4, I rolled a 6. I'll take the second one. And this is going to have 4 health. If anyone knows if there's a more specific tiebreaker here, like I don't think there is. But that's fine. So 5 health for the Omen Rider. I could buy something from the source. I will buy Fair Fight. Might make some sense here with the 6 health, sure. So I'll go down to 20 health, 20 source. What else am I spending money on right now? Let's get another minion out here. And I will take the Combatant. And we'll put Cram under them, and we'll have 6 health there. Whew. That's fine. Let's see if I can't get 2 pieces of things back. I don't know if it matters actually, because I definitely can't win. I can't get that objective done, but I'll try to get 2 back just for kicks. This relic's not going to be useful anymore. We're going to now, I'm going to do their prep phase, and then I'll do my build phase and prep phase combined like I've been doing. So they're going to get 2 upgraded trees. It has 5 health. Huzzah. We get 3 taproots like normal. A little sick of these taproots, not gonna lie. I mean, there is an argument. Like, a 4-wave scenario does, like, feel like maybe that's the right length of time. This just keeps going, man. And it's kind of cool. It's relentless. I mean, if you can leave it out on the table, kind of come back to it, like, this game really lends itself to that. I mean, the puzzle just does, it does deliver. I mean, you really still, like, trying to figure out how to make this work. And we have our Merc. So we have all of these grouped guys, and then the Omen Rider. That is your stack of awesomeness for the Grovetenders. Alright. I have 13 CP to spend. I have upgraded everything except the... I love that range. Yeah, let me spend 3 source to upgrade the smelter, so I get the 17, and now I can get the source siege out. It's 6 CP, but it's probably worth it. And then I will get, I mean, the Aegis is probably not going to be needed anymore. They just move too slow. So I will get, I mean, the rest of this. Oh, I roll my die because that's out. I can get another attack upgrade. Nice. I will put this on this siege tower. Remember, the new mark for the Grovetenders is over here. And once this is defeated, the new mark for me is going to be the Fortress Gate. I'm going to get, with the rest of my CP, I'll put a Battleborn underneath the source siege. Now you do have to transport. You have to stack it with exactly 1 unit, not at least, exactly 1 unit. And it does allow you to ignore normal stacking restrictions. So normally when you stack, this chip that you put underneath a chip has to have an equal to or a higher movement value. Because thematically it wouldn't make sense if you are, you know, having a faster minion kind of dragging along a slower minion, right? Just be a little bit unfair. So we're just unrealistic. So we're going to have a dispatch. I love the ranged attack that both of these units are going to provide. And then we have the combatant. We'll put him out front to start dealing with those treeds as they come in. All right, I'm still going to try to get both of these pieces. So I might actually go here, here. Problem is, as soon as there's something adjacent to that, remember, it's going to be, so on top of that, it's going to be, I can't just take it. So I'm going to have to find another way to make this work. Never upgraded Drang, but I can't get Drang in there. That Shrubbery is just nasty. So the tree's going to come out. 1, 2, well, 1, it has forest alignment, so it's 1, 2, 3. It's going to get there. This taproot goes 1, 2, because it has to go on the path. This taproot goes there, 1. What are we going on here? All right, nothing in the chat. My turn. My siege towers are both going to attack the Shrubbery. 1 missed. Hey, finally did it in. So we get 1 source from that. Oh, what source? I didn't really spend any other source. I didn't need it. It was silly. So I have a bunch of source. You know what I would have done? Let me build a... Now I got to build something there. Let me build a lance launcher for 6. And I could have upgraded it with 2 attacks. Now, with a range, well, I could have upgraded it with 2. Oh, yeah, because it's a treed for sure. So it comes in with 2 and get up to 4. So I just spent another 5 to get a lance launcher with an attack, a range, and 2 attacks. I forgot to spend that source. And I would just put that here. And that's just a way to kind of get the party started for me. So on the Grovetenders turn, the Grovetenders, I would have been able to attack this tree with the Lance Launcher, rolling 3 dice. Again, this is maxed out now on its upgrades. 3 dice, 3 damage, so the tree goes down to 2. That was a much better thing to do than just to not use that source at all, right? Alright, so now what am I doing? Osh is going to, before its movement, it's going to grab this piece of research and it's going to move 1, 2. Drang's going to move 1, 2, see if she can't get down here. It would survive an attack from the tree, but remember I have a number of towers that are going to be really wrecking that tree a little bit. The combatant is going to go 1, 2. The source siege is going to just move the 1, and the dispatch is totally out. The Grovetenders are going to go. The lead minion is the tree. The tree is going to try to make maximum progress down here. So it goes 1, 2, 3. The taproot goes 1, 2. The taproot goes 1, 2. Taproot goes 1, 2. Grizzled Oak can only move the 1. It only has a movement of 1 anyway. These towers. This siege tower can attack the tree, so we'll go ahead and do that. It goes 1 damage. This siege tower can attack the tree with 2 dice, so it's going to go ahead and do that. It does 2 damage, so the tree is out. There's another tree underneath. We get some source. We get 2 source to be exact, so we're at the 9. That's out. What else hasn't attacked? That can't reach. This lance tower can attack this tree, so it's going to go ahead and attack. It does 2 damage. The tree can now attack either one of these spires. It's going to attack this siege tower over. We'll attack this siege tower, this lance launcher, and reduce that. Attacks that again. It has ram, so it doesn't do its normal attack. It just takes the top attack upgrade off. And again, that is instead of, so it's not both. For a while I was playing it, it was like, oh, it takes a top and a bottom one off, and it was just totally sick. Like Shaq and the people line with the spire shots. Yes, that's a great, I like that analogy. Doing really, really well, guys. All right. So it's my turn. I have nothing to use siege tower shots with, because again, siege tower shots that before your turn thing only attack spires or the fortress gate. So neither of those apply. I'm gonna do my movement, however. Osh is here with research. Krang isn't gonna do anything. Krang is just gonna chill. Drang, I'm sorry, not Krang. It's the wrong game, Greg. Is just gonna chill. Although, I'll move Drang here so she's actually just 1 movement away. Remember, these guys are going for the fortress gate anyway. And these guys are coming here. I'm going to spend the 6 though before I forget with my first limited build option just to get the other tower out so I make sure I've completed that objective. And I should be okay there. So this. Drang does not have to attack, but she can actually attack the taproot, which is even better. So 1, 2 with the combatant, 1, 2, 3 with the source siege, and then 1, 2 with the dispatch. The source siege has range 4. It's attacking 2. So I'm going to do, Drang's going to do 1 attack, and then the source siege is going to wipe out that taproot. It gives me 2 source. Done. 1 taproot done. We're now doing the Grovetenders turn. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then terrain allotment is mountains. Oh, wait. So he could have come out last time. He would have come out 1, 2. So it could have done 3 movement to get to there. It wasn't stuck. So now leading minion, well, is that a hero? No, it's a minion. So leading minion is what I choose. I'm going to choose a taproot. Omen Rider is going to go here because it's the next leading minion, and it can do all of its movement. So 1, 2, 3. Next leading minion is going to be the Grizzled Oak back there. So I have all these towers to attack. So all of them are going to attack the treed here. So the dispatch platform attacks with 1 die, 1 damage. Lance launcher attacks with 1 die, 1 damage. Siege tower attacks with 1 die, 1 damage. Treed is out, 2 source. Woo! Alright, both the trees are done. Nice. This siege tower. This dispatch platform is going to attack that taproot, and we will not be doing splash. 2 damage to the taproot. So the taproot is going to be out, and we get a Warbriar in its place. So Warbriar 4 health. Didn't want to roll a 2 there, that's for sure. And now we have this siege tower and this lance launcher that can still attack. So siege tower is going to attack the Warbriar. 1 damage. And this lance launcher is going to attack the Warbriar. 1 damage. Killing it, dude. Alright, the Warbriar.
Oh no!
Yeah, Drang is out. She's not going to make it, kids. She is a goner, I think. It's going to be really hard to get that back anyway. Yeah, she's, I just rolled. The rolls did not come out in a way that was good. Because she's going to get she's going to get attacked by 2 by the Warbriar. She'll retaliate 1. And then the taproot is going to finish her off. So we're only getting 1 piece of research back. That is for sure. Done.
Unfortunate turn of events by Drang. We love you.
Again, when a hero is defeated, they cannot come back in the game. That was some really, 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 really special rolls on my part. I had 4 dice, got 2 damage. Like, ugh, that's not great. So this taproot already attacked. These guys don't have range. We're going to go Brawnen's turn. I'm just going to get Osh in. He's bringing the 1 piece of research in. He's going to restore to full health. But obviously it's the last round. Who cares? And now we go to the rest of my guys. My minions are going to, well, this is lead minion. Can't move anymore, but I can do a lateral move. Sure. 1, 2 here, and then the dispatch is going to go 1, 2. I'm going to attack. This dispatch is going to attack with from behind, so we've killed the Warbriar. We get a taproot left. Oh wait, right, yeah, no, I'm thinking about spires. No, we're good. So Warbriar is out. We get some source. Doesn't really matter at this point to keep track of it. This combatant is going to wipe out the taproot, so we get some more source. Doesn't matter anymore. Keep track of, and then it would be 3. And then this Source Siege is attacking. He's doing 2 damage. I'll do that damage to the Omen Rider. Alright. Grovetenders' turn. Moves 1 here and here. I'm attacking with the dispatch platform. Don't roll a 2 again, please. I rolled a 1. That's much better. This siege tower is attacking the taproot. Please roll 2. I rolled 2. Thank you very much. That's much better. 2 source. So no more summoning. This lance launcher is going to attack the Omen Rider. Please roll a 3. Nope, we'll get a 2 though. I'll take that. That's out. None of those dudes have range. My turn. We're going to go with the combatant as the lead minion. The dispatch, the Source Siege can't do anything. Well, Source Siege will just move an optional lateral move, and then the dispatch will go 1, 2. That's progress. Dispatch is going to attack this dude. I will do splash. Why the heck not? So the Omen Rider is out. That's 3 source. That gets us up to 15. This was just there to indicate what faction it belonged to. Omen Rider is done. The Source Siege is going to attack this dude. 2 damage. Grovetenders, they're moving in. They're going to get attacked by Well, this only has range to there, so cannot do more of an attack than that. This Lance Launcher is attacking with 2. It does 3 damage. That's the kind of roll I like to see. This comes in, the Ogre Growth. Ogre Growth instead of Overgrowth.
So punny.
I get 3 source for the Grizzled Oak, so that's up to 18. The Overgrowth is attacking, so it's rooted. What the heck is rooted? Rooted says that if this unit is adjacent to a spire and can make an attack that deals damage without moving, it does not move this turn. It must move in the next turn in which it can make progress. It's not going to apply, so it's going to attack the combatant. Fair fight triggers, and it attacks with 2 back. And then my turn. Can't move anywhere. We are just attack with the dispatch, and then we'll attack with the combatant. Wipe this guy out. 3 source gets us up to 21. And that is going to be it. We are down at end of the round. Well, I guess not. I mean, in theory, my minions can keep going, right? Because it's campfire mode, but Asha's already off the board. I mean, this guy would technically go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. Not in, well, 1, 2. So the siege source siege is in range, so we would do 2 damage to the gate. Let's wipe out their gate, man. Let's just do it. 1 in retaliation, because whenever you attack the gate, you get 1 back. This guy goes 1, 2. He doesn't have any fight, though. Oh, that's stupid. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So 2 damage from the source siege, 1 back. 2 damage from the dispatch, 1 back. Next turn, they can't move any closer. 2 damage from the source siege, 1 back. 2 damage from the dispatch. The gate is done. We have wiped out everything remaining from the Grovetenders, and we have successfully completed 2 of our objectives. We did not get the 3rd objective. We only got 1 piece of research back, and don't know what matters with that. Does it matter? It's just 2 renown. Like, I don't think it actually mattered as far as the research goes. That's just a really hard 3rd objective. So, Drang probably won't make it back. Yeah, called it. But on the way back, there would have been a lot of traffic also. Oh, yeah, I think she was going to get stuck. But, I mean, the problem I had, like, it just getting that piece, it's almost like it doesn't even matter. Because if you let you find a way to get that, Baza, I just find is so clutch. Because you get Baza with that water, whatever it is. You know, he comes there, he gets 1 attack, he can do 1 damage, and now you've really negated that shrubbery. And I think getting that 1 piece back right off the bat, now it's like, well, I can get 1 back in like the 3rd wave, and then I can get 1 back in the 4th wave maybe, and I get 1 back in the 5th wave. I mean, I really only put Drang out as like a Hail Mary to try to get all 3, but it became really clear that just wasn't gonna happen. And when I wasn't going to be able to, there was too much traffic in wave 4 to even get 1 back, right? This is a cool scenario. It is a lot. Like, my brain hurts in a way it rarely does, and I do love that about this game. I think I still have so much to explore as far as strategies, as far as expertise is like a kind of a loaded word. I did use both of my build options, by the way. Just getting the rhythm of this game down. I find as much as the 5th wave, I think, adds to the difficulty of this scenario from like a learning standpoint, because you're just so like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore, in like a good way, right? Like, if there can be a good way, there is a good way with this game. It just works for me. But like, it's easier to learn with the Grovetenders than with the Heirs, because like the Elf and Kazi are so freaking annoying, and the quick strikes are really annoying, and it just messes up the tempo. Here, you never have to worry about the tempo, right? It's like the minions move, your spires attack, they attack, you retaliate if you're still alive, and you're good. The only thing that's like new to the tempo are the siege towers, but you're already kind of used to that mechanic. So I find this scenario a lot less overwhelming. The thing that kind of gets, it's like the little things that will get you in the scenario, like the taproot only having 1 move when it's upgraded as opposed to the 2, right? Getting used to the summons and how they work, and just understanding the timing of that, understanding the camouflage.
like figuring out, I mean, based on how this scenario can go, it could be really tricky. If you have three fortification chips, obviously you need to get a siege tower that has two, so you're really kind of eating into those. Um, but it's like, wait, the first 4 or 5 times I played this scenario, I was like, wait, this dude can attack me all the way out there? That's freaking absurd. It's just like, totally absurd because you don't see it. It doesn't make sense. And then you're like, oh, his range, like literally his arrows can go any which way as long as you can count the number of hexes, is something that definitely changes things. But it's cool how they grab the minions and I'm sorry, the mercs and the merc heroes, kind of seeing that play out. Like Baza kind of threw me off, right? Because I wasn't used to kind of looking for their heroes here. Um, I could see why people say the spires, when you actually own the spire set, why it helps make sense of the board. But I do think it would be, for me personally, I wouldn't like the cumbersomeness of lifting the spire, taking a chip, adding a chip. I just think it would just add too much. Plus the storage that it takes for those hunks of plastic, like that's not kind of what I'm looking to do. Um, but maybe I'll change my mind at some point when I just feel like I'm just so much more in tune with how this game works. But 2 or 3 isn't bad. Yeah, I'll take it for sure. Getting the research is really tough. Good market helps and good rolling. Yeah. I mean it didn't matter, but yeah, I really rolled pretty poor. Don't start with the scenario to learn this game. PvP is best to learn factions. PvP, I'd like to play more PvP. I mean, the problem with my friends, it's like we have so many. We were in the middle of Gloomhaven. Now we're in the middle of Descent. We're playing. I have one friend who loves GMT stuff and playing War of the Ring, playing Rebellion. It's like getting this game to the table with my friends is really hard. Like same with Maze Knight. We play so much Spirit Island. We play so much Arkham. Played Maracaibo yesterday, right? Like, there's like, it's so hard. My Sarah would never want to play this with me. Like, Mrs. Playthroughs is like, she plays Terraform Mars with me. She kicks my ass more than I like to admit. She's on a winning streak of 3 in a row. Last night was so frustrating, by the way. For what I'll get over it eventually, maybe. But so frustrating. The things that she pulls off in that game. But like literally, I had a 42-point lead going into counting numbers on your cards, and she had 50 points on her cards, so she had all three of that. We played with drafting too, and she still ended up with all friggin' three of those cards that gave her points for Jovian tag, and she ended up with 8 Jovian tags. And it's so annoying. All right, I'm over it. You guys are like therapy for me. I appreciate I appreciate it. Because every skill is different in solo. Oh yeah, I learned that the hard way. Like that was part of the learning problem. Was like, wow, it's like you're learning all the skills and then learning the solo version is nuts. I got spires that look very cool but clunky to use. They do look cool. They really do look cool. I can definitely see that. This game looks so cool anyway though, man. I just look at how it's coming out on the camera, man, with the new camera. Oof, it's so nice, dude. It's so nice. I guess I gotta stop calling this a new camera at some point. But I will lean toward doing these live, for two reasons. Like an active chat will really help because there's so much going on. Editing these videos that as long as they are is no fun. So I'm gonna be totally honest there, and it just would really force me to kind of work through these scenarios. I really do love this game. My personal journey with this game at this point, I've literally only played the 4 scenarios as the Brawnen, and I have obviously been making my share of rules mistakes as I went, and just kind of got to a point where it's like, all right, like I know this enough that I can consider putting this on the channel as a live playthrough, and I'm very glad I did. This chat's been amazing. I had the same problems. Just got Nemesis and Kingdom Death Monster in the same week. Too many games, man. Oh, dude. Kingdom Death Monster is just that game that I'm very glad that whatever about that game is awesome, that appeals to people, and I know it's there. It's gotta be, right? So many people love it. It doesn't do anything for me in all the research I've done, and that's so rare. And my pocketbook, if I had a pocketbook, my pocketbook, and my shelf space, and my time are all very appreciative because I just have no interest in that game. And it, if there was like a standee version that I get for like 100, that might be the game where that would matter for me. Normally, I don't care about that stuff. If I like a game, I'm gonna get it, right? And Cloudspire, obviously, it's not cheap. Too Many Bones isn't cheap, and you get the games that you're gonna love. But yeah, there's too many. And now that with the channel, I've been fortunate to have some games, coming my way that I'm very appreciative to publishers that are kind of seeing what I'm doing and want me to be a part of what they're doing, and it's been cool. So I got a lot of really cool things lined up for this year. But Cloudspire, Too Many Bones, is gonna be a big part of that for sure. I just filmed a Picket playthrough against Marrow, so that's gonna be coming out pretty soon. And yeah, laugh out loud, dude. I watched Mark. The best review I saw on Too Many Moments is Mark Dainty from Not Board Gaming did like a 45-minute video on Kingdom Death Monster, and he loves that game. And I like Mark's videos a lot. His long form reviews are just cool. There's something I like that he brings to the table. Um, and I finished this 45 minutes of him just talking about why he loved the game. And he was honest with some of the drawbacks and this and that. But I was like, yeah, the game is just not for me. Same with like Townsfolk Tussle. Like those games just don't appeal for me. And I don't necessarily I don't dislike boss battlers, right? Like I am super stoked about Primal. Primal, like I saw that game. I was like, that game's for me. I want that game. Kingdom Death just hasn't done it for me at all. And again, I'm not, I'm not upset about that. I like watching Kingdom Death Monster, but I don't have time to play. Just starting Arkham Horror. Oh man, Arkham has been a journey. Arkham was my favorite game for years and a couple years, and just really, really loved that game so much. And then obviously it was surpassed by my Mage Knight, Spirit Island, even Dawn of the Zeds, and we'll see. But Arkham almost lost. There was a couple of years. I mean, there was a couple of cycles like TCU, Dream Eaters. It was like this is just a miss, especially for solo play. Just a big miss for me. And it was kind of like ready to kind of be done with it. Like, how much more do I need? And the last two cycles that have come out for Arkham are so good that Innsmouth is great. I'm like halfway through. Well, I don't know. I am some sort of the way through Edge of the Earth. It's so good. Like they just found something again, and it just taking it to a new level. The cards are interesting, the scenarios are interesting, the monsters are interesting. I just love the investigators are great. Like just really, really love the direction that game's going. The new publication model is so nice, and if there was ever a time to kind of start getting in, like now is cool because you can really just trace the new releases, and pick up Edge of the Earth along the way. And I think there'd be a really good time to get into Arkham. Arkham is just a great, great, great game. So, well, I don't like Terraforming Mars. Unlike many, sometimes it just doesn't click. Oh yeah, dude. Don't get me wrong. If it wasn't for my wife, I would play Terraforming Mars maybe once a year. So, but I love her and love playing games with her more than I, I like more than I dislike Terraforming Mars. Terraforming Mars, yeah, is not a game for me. I'd much rather Maracaibo, Great Western Trail, like Gaia Project. If I'm playing like those kind of victory point chaser games. But stop it. I only had the first three cycles. Oh, dude, Dunwich is great. If you're, I don't know if you're including Zealot with that or not. Dunwich is great. Carcosa is great. Forgotten Age is my favorite. It's not for everybody. It's a different kind of scenario. Forgotten Age like really it expects you to play multiple times. Like it's definitely one of those where if you're going in and you just like the story and you want to play it once and be done, like don't. I would say even don't bother with Forgotten Age. If you're prepared to play three, four, five, six times, like it's very, very cool. But after that, like yeah, skip TCU, skip Dream Eaters, and maybe they'll fix Dream Eaters. Um, Dream Eaters B is great. Dream Eaters A is just a slog and it's broken for solo play. But up to Innsmouth and Engineers are so so good. Those are really really good, man. Like I am very impressed with the direction. And Edge of the Earth is probably the number of really serious Arkham players that have come out and been like, this is the best cycle that it's ever made, is so like it's amazing amount. Like if you're in those like Facebook communities, the just universal love for Edge of the Earth and what's happening. And I don't know if a new player would feel the same. So that's interesting to me. But like any experienced veteran player, I think it's such a fresh take on the game, and it's a fresh take on like what's possible with the game. And the new distribution model is really allowing some nice play space where instead of like, hey, we do a deluxe expansion and then six mythos packs and that's what we do, it's very rigid. It's like this could be four scenarios, it could be 12, right? Like the experience is going to really vary now because everything's in one box. And I think that that's coming through already, and I'm only halfway through. It's been really, really cool. But look, I can yammer on about games forever. I gotta grab some dinner. I got some Descent kicking off around 7:30 tonight. I'm really enjoying going through that campaign again. By the way, like I love that game solo, but playing with my two friends, like it's just been really cool. Like, and the replayability, like how this, it's subtle, right? It's still the same scenarios, but there is like these subtle twists in the narrative based on the characters you're using and based on like certain other decisions you made. Like it's very, very cool. Um, there's like one scenario is like really bugged. I mean, there's still some things that are still, I wish there was more done to kind of fix everything immediately, but like I think as a baseline of where that series could go, I'm excited. I'm admittedly though not excited to spend 170. Well, I only spent one like 140 for Act Two, so we'll see where I'm at when they finally release that. But Descent's so good, so I got that coming up. So I will get ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much to the chat. This was awesome. Any questions, comments, epiphanies? Put them in the comment section below. If you saw a little mistake that just wasn't caught in the chat, please. Like I expect that this is a learning video for some people, and I'm just happy to get something out after the last time with the, like, oh, my heart sank, man. I put that last video out, I was like all excited, like Cloudspire, I got it on the channel, and then it's like 10 minutes in, I get that comment and I was like, oh, like what did I do? What have I done? I really value getting rules right, and I hate when I don't. So this is why chat's so good, and this game has been really, the on ramping for this game has been really wild. And I think that's something that the Chip Theory Games community, and in both on Reddit and Facebook, the welcoming nature, the way people ask questions and explain things, it's such a cool community to kind of see, and just kind of being part of that, and kind of benefiting from that as I'm trying to get my head wrapped around this beast of a game. It's been really cool. So thanks for the stream. Love your content. Thank you, Matthias. Thanks, Greg. Enjoy the game night. I absolutely will. So yeah, back to the speech. So yeah, if you want to see what's coming up in Solo Playthroughs Land, you can go on my Patreon page. Link is in the description below. I know next week I'm doing a Gaia project. I only have 2 factions left, and then the week after that I got a top 10. These are my Wednesday night videos. I have a top 10 Gaia project faction video that I'm really excited to put together. So check out that. I think I have on Sunday, I don't know. I just released a Spirit Island, so Sunday's gonna be not Spirit Island, but again, there's a calendar on my Patreon page, and you can find out what it is for yourself. If you are, while you're there, if there's a level of support that makes sense for you, I'd appreciate it as this channel continues to grow, and I'm continuing to try to make small tweaks here and there to continue to improve what I am doing. But with that said, thanks as always for joining me and spending time with solo playthroughs, and until next time, happy gaming.